Hey, what up? Boy, Yannicki, we got Dustin already in here. About to hop on MHA 266. I've been informed that this chapter may be overhyped. I've been informed that this chapter is greatness. I'm gonna see. Let's see. Hey, got Easton here already.
He's don't come in here overhyping, nigga.
Don't come in here overhyping, he says. Hey, all right, we can hear you, East.
All right.
All right. Let me real quick post this link on Twitter because somebody asked me about it.
You sleep late? You been sleeping late?
I spent like all yesterday turned up. So like I was like, when I get up, because then today I decided to do it different and read all the other chapters that I read and then read the My Hero chapter since it's the one that I'm most excited for anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, which some good chapters this week.
People calling Yaba trash, but it was the chapter itself wasn't trash.
It's just
it has been trash, but like this chapter today wasn't like particularly trash.
Yeah, nah, it's just we don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's like the way it's been done. Like a lot of us just don't give a fuck. So like what is supposed to be hitting you emotionally just doesn't come through. All right, let me get on My Hero though.
That's tough.
Huh? Can you hear me?
Can you hear him?
Oh no, why String God always do that?
He was just unlucky, huh? Maybe by your screw up standards. Okay. Narrowly not getting his face stomped. But his feathers are on fire, which I thought happened. But how? Let's see. Whatever, you've lost most of your weapons and you're nearly burned up your friend. Nah, because I know that heroes must always be ready to save a life. Such cutting sarcasm. The force of that attack, it was almost like you knew about me already. What gave me away? Give you away? Nothing. I never believed anything from the start. Right. My wings are burned and crippled, and besides this being my worst possible matchup, we're fighting in cramped quarters. He's got the winning hand here. I have to prioritize the mission. But Wagarada is weakened. I avoided his vitals, but sliced up his bones and muscles. Enough damage to prevent a full-blown rampage. I'll carry him out and... Burn. I'm good. I said don't... Ooh. Big flame. Hot, cold. Okay. What is it? Hot, cold. Just you alone and enough to make a quick work of those heroes down there. And so, go nuts. The other units are waiting for you. Yeah, okay. High five, clone. Hawks coming through the window. Well, with the flames and circled back. He's too fast. Out of my way. Eigo Takami. Ooh, calling him by his first name. Youch. Ooh. How do you know my name? Who are you? I gotta protect everyone. They accepted me, protect them twice. You see Mr. Compress pulling up. Oh, wait, does he only have one arm right now? Okay, that's weird. They accepted me. And how'd I pay them back? By causing them more pain. I can't let it end this way. Sure, my whole life, it seems like Hawks coming up behind him. I've been a man falling lower and lower, getting duped. To you, my life looks pathetic, meaningless. A goopy ass Spider-Man looking ass nigga catching compressing Toga. Atsuhiko Sako. Himiko Toga, you're under arrest, so I'm swallowing you up. Toga, your usual evasive techniques didn't work. These things must have sensory capabilities. No, get off me, please. You people might have your reasons, but once you start taking it out on society, we heroes can't allow you to have your way. This time, it's over, League of Villains. Holy shit. All right, first off, we see Twice catching a body. Again, I do believe it won. Get off of them. Get off. Get off. Excellent. More doubles at once, twice. Meanwhile, we'll make a getaway down below, dear Toga. Sorry, Compress. Can't take more. Take more. And why not? It's taking all I've got just to hold this form together. like when you're holding back a big dump. See, I got dropped down onto the concrete from up to here. Sorry, you two. It's my fault again. Hawks pulled one over on me. I was duped again. Sorry. Toga. Oh no, the cute face of yours got hurt again. Let me give you back your hanky. Twice? Staying covered keeps you whole, huh? I wandered around searching for myself. Can't make more of me. Sorry for everything. I mean it. And I found myself blessed with friends better than I ever could be. Jen, thank you for saving me. The guy asked for a better life. Die, Hawks. But you don't get to tell me that I was unlucky. Being here with them, I was happy. That's a spicy meatball.
Everybody jumped out.
We live in a fucking society.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Hawks gotta die. That nigga got to go.
Also, I feel like I did a great job reading that because, like, fuck. What?
I saw those spoilers and I was like, nah, that can't be it. That can't be it. And then I read the chapter on Friday. I'm like, well, goddamn.
You read spoilers, nigga?
Yeah, I read spoilers.
You garbage.
BG don't love himself. That's all.
Yeah, I see.
I read spoilers and I don't tell nobody. So
that ain't the issue. It's the fact you spoiling yourself. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Bro, hold up. Why twice out here dying a hero's death with that speech?
Let's just appreciate the fact that that he has more bodies than all the heroes and villains in this arc so far.
You know what? We're getting to like Dobby versus Hawks having the straight up fight though, regardless.
Yeah. I mean, it's
still. I think Toga might spaz next chapter. I don't know.
I'm about to say,
bro, the stage is set. What the fuck?
And we already seen though that Hawks is still going to clap his cheeks.
Like
he blitzed the shit out of him. He's going to get bodied.
Like. Well, here's the thing: is that like we keep seeing Hawks he's getting nerfed because he's taking all this damage, and now like he straight up said, "My wing is crippled." Like that burned away the wing, like a good chunk of it, which I thought is what would happen. I was like, "No, them flames too high. He can't just pull away like he did with Endeavors and like kind of bounce back." Like A-Squid, he's definitely taking some damage here, and so the fact that he's basically admitting that he's temporarily like gimped at least for the rest of this arc. I mean, Dobby already did what he could, like has severely crippled the hero side. I think we're in for. See, now this war is actually going to feel like anybody could win because in reality, Sad Man's Parade did feel like an auto win condition.
Nah, I think this guaranteed the villain's gonna win. No,
Hawks caught a body.
I mean, Hawks killed Genus.
No, he did not. I don't know why I keep saying it.
Look, I don't trust this little niglet to not be willing to put a hero on the ground that.
They told this man to do whatever he needed to do for the mission, and so I feel like that they wouldn't bat an eye if he killed Genus just to keep.
Bro, why I was talking to Rex about this the other day. Why do y'all keep leaving out what happened in the manga?
You're talking about the part where he says, even if it's isn't him, you did kill somebody. You at least did kill somebody. You talking about that line?
Yes, and they obscured the face in the bag. Why would they obscure the face in the bag if Genus he killed him?
When is the last time we saw Best Genus face?
It don't matter. Why would they obscure? We seen his face when Hawks went to go meet him, and he put out the feather. And then it went, bro. Whenever they fade off and don't show you what happened, it's because they want you to think a certain way. It's not he killed Best Genus.
I'm pretty sure we've never seen his face.
Yeah, we don't actually see his face. We don't actually see his face, but we see the same type of hair, the same type of facial structure. Everything is the same, other than the face. We never see his face.
But why would they obscure it?
Because he
we've never
always
seen
has
him
that mask on. Like you know it was Best Genius because he had the outfit more than you would without it.
No, but the way they drew it, even in the well, that's a good point. But still, even after
Yeah,
Dobby
yeah,
said
the
that,
way
even what Dobby said after, like it don't even matter if that's
Dobby,
Best Genius or not.
like Dobby's statement to me is more so just enforcing what we saw in this chapter right here, which is that I never trust you to begin with. Because he's saying that to be like, man, I feel like you're trying to put one over on me because you're a hero. But at the same time, regardless, you had to have killed somebody to get this body in the first place. So it's something.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you definitely actually racked up these bodies, but that also just makes you more suspicious, actually.
Yeah, that's how I took that. I never took that as a, hey, he might actually be alive.
He didn't even want to kill twice, my nigga. There's no way he killed.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, that's the thing. He doesn't have any. The thing is, Twice was actually a friend. He has more hesitation killing Twice than he does the Genius, because he doesn't actually know Genius like that, other than being a hero. They seem like familiar, but they don't seem like friends.
It's not the fact that they were friends; it's the fact that he's a hero. He didn't want to kill Twice because he found like redemption in him. Like, he felt like he could have been redeemed, and he liked him, but he still would have did if he had to. He's not for to kill a hero. That would go against the whole morals of it. They go find ways to around it. They're gonna actually kill him. They're gonna find ways around.
But that's the thing. That's the thing about Fox's character. He is against what the morals you would see as a hero.
Yeah.
What heroes on.
Not to that extent. He has not. He went through everything to get all the information so the heroes could do what they're doing now.
Yeah, but
the thing is, you have to remember what the Hero Commission told him. They told him to do whatever it takes for the mission. And if he gets caught, they'll pretend that he just went rogue and they'll throw him away.
No,
so the thing is,
I doubt.
So to me, that always seemed like, okay, do what you got to do. We ain't gonna fault you. But if you get found out, then we don't know who the fuck you are,
bro. When they off-screen something like that and don't show it, it's always up for you. I always never trust it, because if it's like you don't believe somebody's dead till you see a body.
I'm not saying you're wrong to doubt. I'm just saying it is rational because of the way that Hawk has been structured. And to me, he's supposed to be partially representative of the flawed nature and the overall utilitarian gray, not the shining bright gold that people like to think of heroism as, but rather that actual, when you bring in this corporatist, this government, there's certain sacrifices that you just have to make for what you consider to be the macro good. So if Hawks is supposed to be reflective of that, he has to be willing to make those dirty choices.
And there's too many quirks for them to be able to circumvent, for them to not actually have to kill him. Like, there's people's quirk they could use to where they don't actually have to. There's no way he killed. I don't believe it.
I mean, have you heard of one like that before? Where you can make a fake body?
It can be written.
I mean, yeah, it can be written, but it doesn't.
The other problem there would be you have, unless they work for the Hero Commission, he would have had to tell somebody about his mission. So what happened?
Bro, Hawks has people he reports to. You don't think he didn't just like, okay?
No. That's what I'm saying. That's the Hero Commission. So I'm saying, unless they're the ones who did it, I can't see how the fuck that happened.
They would be the ones who you think Hawks is the only person that they have involved in something like that where nobody knows about? You think that Hawks is the only person that's in like this covert thing, and they don't have anybody else, anything or any other resources to do anything that they need to do that nobody didn't know about? Of course they do.
I don't know. I think Hawks may be the only person that they have doing cover operation, because the more people you have doing that type of shit, the more your hands are spread wide. They may just have one person.
Yeah, but the fact that you do something like this in the first place shows that this is not the first time or the only time you ever did something like this. So they have to. No way, my nigga. They have to have resources, bro.
Dustin, listen. Before
they've been training this nigga since he was a child, my nigga. This is not the first time they ever done something like this or ever did this before. That's ridiculous to think that.
See,
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. I wouldn't say that he's probably the first one, but currently he could be the only one.
I'm not even saying they got somebody that's undercover. I'm saying they got other people working for them doing things that is not known to do. That don't mean they have to have somebody else being an undercover operative. They can just have some people doing shit for them that they don't have normally do, and have to keep it under the table, keep it secret. You think they just only got Hawks on their line? He's the only person out of all the heroes that's doing anything behind the scenes.
No, that's never what I've thought.
There is something you got to remember.
That's why I mentioned the Hero Commission. The Hero Commission doesn't. I would believe the Hero Commission isn't just those two. That'd be kind of weird.
There's something important to remember though, and that's that Hawks isn't in the same position as like any other hero that we know of in the story right now. Yeah, Hawks was specifically taken in by the Hero Commission and trained to be a hero from like the time he was 5, which is one of the reasons why I think it's important that he straight up called him Keigo here, because the only reason why you could argue that Toya or like Dabi would know this is if he would have been Toya, and maybe he would have had like some of that training too with the Hero Commission back in the day. So there's a certain level of, they might have had some people that they were training, but not enough that we should sit here and assume that they've got like, 20 operatives inside of the hero system that are out here doing these kind of infiltration missions, mostly due to the fact that I think that a bunch of Hero Commission trained heroes would end up in the top 10 as a piece of propaganda also to make them look more legit.
And what I was saying is that Hawks is the first, I think it's the first hero they had to do this type of covert operations. Because before this, they had All Might. It was really no need to do this type of operation because All Might would just save the day like he always did.
Yeah, for like the past 30 years, at least the niggas running the Hero Commission right now did not have to deal with this because they had All Might.
But Hawks been doing shit like this though.
No, Hawks is specifically trained to be good at PR, so he can be popular and be a hero that everybody likes. But he hasn't been doing a bunch of infiltration missions. Yeah,
like this is new because even when he was talking about the Camino raid, they were like, "How the fuck did you hear about that?" They weren't. See, yeah, and then after that, they throw one straight into this mission. That was new. That was his first like infiltration mission or anything like that. Because the reason they picked him up in the first place is because he was able to find out things like that he shouldn't have. So that implies to me that they hadn't done this before, and because they had to explain to him why they're picking him for this mission.
So I'd like to explain that I'd like to apologize for my prediction for last week. I had said he was going to catch a body. I'm sorry that he grew up very different to other heroes. So
I mean, look, the only people who weren't betting on Hawks, like trying to catch a body, were being really optimistic about Hawks. I feel like that's the best way to explain it because, like, Hawks kind of had to kill twice here, regardless. Like, he doesn't know if he's getting away. He still actually took some damage to his face from the flames. His only option is to get some damage on twice and hopefully, like, get him at least unconscious for the rest of the mission. Or otherwise, it's like, doesn't matter if he dies here as long as he at least stops twice. Also,
well, I think unless Hawks is so bad at using a giant flaming sword aimed at someone's head and he somehow doesn't kill him, then I think we're good. I think he's dead.
The Hawk twice said that he fell off of the concrete and that's how he died.
No.
He was talking about the clone. Twice fell after he got stabbed. That's how he did that because you could see it happen too. Like after he jumps up and stabs him, you see his body fall over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He fell off the concrete.
No, that was the clone because you can see his mask on.
That wasn't
the clone was saying that's what happened to the real Twice.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened in the scanlations too. Rex, but no. It's much more clear, so you can see that actually like after Hawks like stabs him in the head, the nigga falls over the balcony. I didn't even know if they were at the balcony, but he falls over the balcony, and you can see the blood splattering right as he falls.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's still
okay. Oh, what were you gonna say, Rex?
I want to say that's the real Twice, but it's hard to.
No, it's not even a question. It's not even a question because when he's like before he gets stabbed, he's hanging onto the rail, and then after that he sends off the clone, and then he gets stabbed. So to me, there's nothing else it could be because the other one's running down the hall. So how the fuck did
the other one's on the move? So there wouldn't be any reason for that one to fall.
Also, I'm looking at it, and the little body you can see falling, you can see the sound effect shink next to it. That's usually in reference to blades being pulled out. So it's more than likely a direct reference to the fact that he was just stabbed and is falling.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Could I mention 2 points that I thought were really interesting about the chapter?
What?
Yeah.
So the two things that I like the most is one, as far as Dabi's concerned, I think it's very interesting that it seems very clear that Dabi is still doing his own thing, like he's still on his stain stuff, because there is no logical through line from I get someone who clearly probably is going to betray me. I know they're going to betray me. They betray me, and I'm happy about it. So
Hold on. I'd like
So,
to.
which means to me that when he says like it doesn't matter if you killed Best Jeanist, you still killed someone. I think what he's still doing is I think he's still on his stain stuff where he wants heroes to look bad, and so when he reveals, "Hey, I'm Toya, my dad's an abuser," and also the number 2 hero, whether he killed Best Jeanist or not, murdered somebody. I think he's still doing his own, because otherwise, I don't know why he's so excited about everyone else getting their life ruined, but he's like, yes, I knew you were going to betray me. Finally.
Well, that's the thing, though, right? Is that when you look at what the Meta Liberation Army's message is, and then you look at what his goal was to replicate Stain, and then you see the way that these things two come to a head, because now they have the social politicking power, the ability to bring out this information, and while giving the Meta Liberation Army what they want, he can completely destroy the current hero society as it is, which is what they both want, but like for his own reasons and by his own actions. He's basically getting to actually succeed in his mission that overlaps with everyone else's. He's been doing his whole thing. It's just that everybody is finally on the same page about it. He's just glad to finally get the ability to take it down, knowing that no matter how this war goes, as long as he gets this information out there, that's more and more ways to destroy hero society.
Because like I said, there's no logical through line from I don't trust you, I don't trust you. Yeah, I knew it. Thanks for ruining everything for me. I'm happy about it. So it has to be that he's just been doing his own thing.
Well, it's also that the League doesn't necessarily care about the Meta Liberation Army. They're just like a means to an ends, which is why, like, you notice Toga and Compress were together. Like, maybe we should dip. Like, everybody from the League was like, out. It's the Meta Liberation Army that's like ready to fight. So this is just, I guess, more or less the Meta Liberation Army starts winning once the League feels like they have a reason to fight them, like actually fight on their side. Because now that they, like, Toga realizing that Twice is probably actually dead here and all this other stuff is just like set up for them having personal motivation to get in this battle. And
yeah, exactly. They're not going to run away now. They're gonna.
Hold on. I'd like to add the fact that Dobby was taking a risk when he bought Hawks in. Because think about it, when Hawks is bought in, right? The league is at their most like desperate point, and if a top hero is really genuine about joining your organization, that's millions of dollars because the pro hero is really rich at that rank, and he has a massive fan base, which can act as a recruiting pool.
Right, but he said he never trusted him.
Actually, I was just about to argue against that, actually, because you said that they were at their most desperate. I mean, I know the timeline might be a little confusing, but I think that if I remember correctly, this happens after the villain arc. Pro hero does.
No,
they happen during each other.
During that's what I'm saying.
Dobby knew that they were going to get help from the Doctor eventually while he was recruiting Twice.
So they were actually starting to come on the up and up at that point.
And I think
that's like during the training with Makia.
Well, the thing is, when they initially meet, they still haven't gotten like the Detnerat's money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were in the process of securing the Doctor, so they still had some funding coming their way in theory. Like
they were no longer at that point where Spinner and them are asking like, okay, what the fuck are we doing here? Because at that point, it was starting to change up. Things were going up. And what you said, Ian, actually, that's good because it was getting kind of obscure to me as to because his reasoning for joining the League was because of Stain, but throughout his whole time being here, I haven't really seen much Stain-esque viewpoints. But that's a good way of looking at it, actually. Because Toga didn't need a reason. Yeah, Toga's reason was essentially she liked Stain because he's a bloody mess.
Yeah.
So she didn't really need much of a reason. But Dobby, on the other hand, it can't just be, hey, I like fucking with people. That's not a reason.
Well, and the thing is I think with Dobby, we got to look at also, he's the person who's killed the most people, not counting like when Shigaraki's quirk awakened during MVA, or like, not even awakened, but returned to what it was. Dobby had been just leaving bodies everywhere. That was his way of honoring Stain, was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Torching him is the answer. Like, so you just go around, light the people up, That's what Stain would do. Just drop him. He killed the unworthy. He crippled them. He maimed them. It's like whatever.
Then what? So you're saying he was
what?
the second hero killer?
Basically, Dobby's been a more efficient hero killer without talking about it.
Well, because
Dobby's been about that hero smoke for a long time.
Well, also, what W is like truly following Stain ideology, because remember he was trying to recruit the best villains. Because Stain's whole point was heroes and villains are like not living up to what they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
so,
and
like,
then when he thought they weren't, he killed them.
Class of criminal type stuff, man.
Yeah, so when he was recruiting for like the overhaul, when they was recruiting for the overhaul arc, he killed all those villains that weren't like common. He was like, well, y'all weren't good villains either. So so he's killing both sides.
Yeah, because they were like, oh wow, you're all ugly. So he was just like, oh, they suck.
Nigga insecure about his appearance.
And then the only other thing I wanted to mention was with Twice, what I think makes it really poetic about his death is, how he has the like split personality, and he's got all the clones and how they betrayed him originally, but he got over. So I love that the way he dies is that the real Twice dies not knowing if Toga will forgive him. He dies not knowing if he's going to be able to save his friends, not knowing if he just screwed all of them over, and then he dies not knowing if his life meant anything. And then the clone gets to steal the original Twice's death and peace of mind by going to Toga, getting that forgiveness, knowing that they're going to be okay and that they forgive him, and then he dies. So Twice's whole life started with his clone stealing like his sanity. He got it back and got it through these friends, and then he lost it again because he wasn't able to fulfill his goal because he stuck too hard to his guns of friendship, and his clone stole everything from him again.
Ouch.
Damn, I'm sad.
And it makes sense because I know Twice is like a good person, quote unquote, but Twice was also the guy who was complicit in like a genocide of a city full of people who just wanted to use their quirks and was gonna murder children. So I think it's very fine for him to get a really ruthless death, but also acknowledge his whole friendship aspect, but he doesn't get to enjoy it.
How do you rob yourself?
It'd be like that sometimes.
But people say that your greatest enemy is yourself.
Yeah,
literally happened.
Like you'll figure it out. Like once you get the closer you get to 30, the more times you realize you can rob yourself. That's basically how it works.
So that's what I think is like the beautiful tragedy of Twice, and that's why.
You're holding a gun to yourself, saying, "All right, empty your pockets."
Yeah, that's how it works.
I also think he got satisfaction though because he felt like he kept betraying him, and he was able to send a clone in a desperate attempt to help save them in the end.
Right, but it's just he never got the closure.
Yeah, no, that part is true too. I'm just saying, I think like him being able to send a clone to save them,
that maybe there was hope.
Even though he kept being the one that kept getting duped and messed over, he was able to help save them in the end.
Yeah, or at least try to. Yeah, and I think it's I just think the most sad part is him being like, Toga will probably never forgive me, but that's okay, and him never knowing that Toga would have instantly forgiven him. So that's another thing that really hurts.
I'd like to point out to this dude in the chat. No, what he means by he stole his spotlight is essentially that he even though yes his clone did get to give his friends closure and save it, he'll never get to see it, and he'll never know about it either.
Yeah,
that's what they're trying to say.
Not like the clone do where he knows all the clone shit.
Yeah, because like
the clones know everything he knows, but he doesn't know everything they know.
Yeah, they don't share consciousness.
I mean, he in Forest Camp Twice knew that his clones died.
Well, yeah, he can know if the clone dies, but he doesn't actually know. But what is it? He doesn't know how or what or where or why.
I mean,
or what they're doing or what they're saying.
Defeated him.
Say what?
How would he have known that Hawks had defeated him if he doesn't know at least the way of death?
What do you mean? Oh, are you saying how did the clone know?
Yeah.
He could have seen it because when he gets stabbed,
right behind him.
Yeah, when he gets stabbed, he's literally right behind him.
So you just hear a shunk, and you're just like, "Yep, I'm dead."
and I'm pretty sure that Hawks probably didn't try to go after him because he's about to die anyway. Why does it matter?
I mean,
well, and also
Hawks
I'm pretty sure
might have
like,
gotten scorched while stabbing him. Like he's like, if you look, Hawks was like covered, like smoking as he's going to stab him. So there's a chance Dobby just blasted him in the back after he stabbed.
Can we appreciate how Hawks legit bodying 2 commanders with 1 wing. That's a 2-piece.
This man here,
He's
man.
he's not a top hero for no reason.
I feel like we still haven't like appreciate like this nigga Horikoshi killed twice, bro.
Yeah,
that throws me off because he killed one of his best characters, and that was like I was not expecting that.
So, but here's the thing, right? Think about one of the things we've been talking about. So we're like, oh, like. Also, I love how we spent all this time talking about which heroes are gonna die, and the first death we get this argues from a villain.
Me and Rex said the same thing the other day.
Like honestly, I didn't expect a single League of Villain members to die.
I didn't either.
Maybe Liberation Front, but
that's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought the rest of the Liberation dudes were gonna die, and it was just gonna end up being like the League.
So Caleb Cook just confirmed on Twitter that the twice that falls over is the clone. So it means that that means that like either he like tripped and fell over, or like Hawks like just pushed him like yoink.
I think one of his feathers propelled.
So if I understand, let me get this straight. He stabs the normal Hawks, the normal twice. The normal twice falls over, but the other one tripped, like fell over right in front of him.
Yeah.
So the blood's right behind it. Right behind.
No. So when the clone says I fell and hit the concrete, he is just talking about himself. He fell and hit the concrete, which is why his arm is limping and he's only using one arm and he's already falling apart. He's not falling apart because the original twice is dead. He's falling apart because he's taken enough damage and he's just trying to hold himself together.
That's
so
what
he stumbled around the battlefield trying to find everybody.
So twice could
be on Friday.
No, because he got shunked. He got stabbed.
But we didn't see that.
Well, we saw
twice did that. No, like what happens is, like I said, you see it right after he makes the clone, because like Hawks appears out of the flames with the fucking blade about to go right into his head. So he stabs him in the head.
So unless he missed his head with a flaming sword.
But when I said we didn't see it.
Oh, you mean we actually didn't see him get killed? Yeah, no,
we saw what was could have happened, but we don't. But anything could happen in that split second, and something could have changed. He might have missed and stabbed him somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a blood spur.
Well, I mean, it's an implied death, but they're not. I guess they're not going to show them stabbing a nigga in the head.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Until it's confirmed, like that's what I said after the chapter drop.
So here's the thing.
Until it's confirmed, I don't believe it. Like I want to believe it.
I think the color page is going to be rest in peace twice. Like I think the color page is going to be in memory twice.
Like, I mean, the thing about that would be. But here's the thing about that. Why the fuck would the clone say all that extra shit if he wasn't dead?
No, I agree with you, but this is a shonen.
You're
like 99.9. Okay. You're just like, but Horikoshi could screw it up.
Yeah.
No. I would agree with Dustin if we didn't see another League of Villain member die before. If this was the first time,
Magna.
Yeah, but that nigga wasn't as important.
That's true.
No. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if Horikoshi hadn't shown before this that he was willing to kill people off and leave them dead, I will be inclined to believe.
Me, you talking about this on Friday. Horikoshi has killed people who haven't really been emotionally important. Night Eye, nobody really Night Eye, we didn't really care about him. I'm talking about to the fans.
I care about that.
He came into that arc. The same arc he came into, he died in.
Yeah.
Magna, we were like Twice is a character we were emotionally invested in. Like we spent time with Twice and watch him go through things. We didn't spend time with Night Eye and watch him go through things. We didn't spend time with Magna and watch him go through things. So this is like, to me, this is like Horikoshi's first big death in the series, like big death.
Oh, it is the first big death. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, I would be surprised, but I can't rule out. I'm 99.9% sure Twice is dead, but I can't rule out that he's alive.
So
it's a shonen, bro. It's a shonen.
It's weird.
To remind you, Night Eye died to spike to his stomach.
Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about how he died. I'm talking about the fact that he wasn't that emotionally invested in him.
Here's the thing: if Night Eye is dying from a big spike going through his stomach, a giant feather blade to the head falling off multiple stories, and then having his muscles and bone cut by Hawks' feathers.
Well, I would actually no. I can't even use that point because think about it. He cut his bones and muscles, but he was still running.
I don't get the point. What's the point?
I think she's just. I think they're just trying to say like they're just trying to say like if they what is it after all that he's commit that kid, but I'd be kind of hard to believe he'd be alive.
Oh, and if he's still alive after all that.
Because if we killed Night Eye with a spike to the stomach, then everything we did to Twice should kill him.
Here's the thing.
Spike to the stomach and on the arm.
One, I'm gonna say Night Eye is an underappreciated character. So,
yes, he is. Great. He's wonderful.
Two, though, I made it a point to zoom in real deep on the panel because you can do that like on the computer. And there's definitely a giant spurt of blood.
Yeah, there is.
While the other one has fallen. So
that's what I was saying.
And there's no blood coming off of the body that's falling.
Yeah. So
like there's no like blood trail.
Like, yeah,
my only problem with stories is that when you have to do so much detective work, then there's always a possibility that it's not, because you have to like, okay, this happened. Until they confirm it for me, I won't 100% say he's dead, because they can pull anything they want to pull. I've seen that. Not saying Horikoshi, I think is above that, but after I seen what Tabata did with Julius, I'm PTSD, bro. I can't. Until it's 100%.
That's disrespectful as hell.
It is, but bro, that was some crazy shit. So I have to.
You still got flashbacks from the great L4.
Yeah. So I gotta wait till the next chapter, because
I mean the only way I'd say that you have any reason to really worry is if he cuts away next chapter.
Nah, but Horikoshi does good. Like, even if we come back to Maruko, I don't think we're gonna miss a whole bunch when we come back to Maruko. I think he's gonna like.
I mean,
well, it's not even so much about that. It's more about if you cut away after a death, even if we saw his body drop, that'd still be fucking stupid, because you don't see the reaction to his death. So that'd be a fumble in and of itself. You can't skip it. You can't like skip the reactions. That's what makes the death impactful.
Somebody said this is a better death than Ace.
I agree.
I mean, it is. I mean, it is.
So
he deserved it.
Because Twice didn't. Twice ain't. What? Here's the thing. Twice ain't died because somebody called his dad a bitch.
Twice went out like a G. Twice is the definition of ride or die. Well, I guess not ride and die, but like
Ace dies. I haven't gotten that far. I'm kidding. I know.
No, but what I want to say about just off on a little tangent about the Ace deaths, like people mess with Ace, but I think ultimately people cared about Luffy's reactions with them more than himself.
Ace's death is the equivalent of Night Eye's death. We cared about Night Eye's death because of Mirio. We don't not necessarily because we were super attached to Night Eye.
That's my point. That's why I say Night Eye wasn't that, like, his death itself wasn't that important. It was how Mirio, we was invested in Mirio's character. So we cared more about Night Eye's death. But Twice we was invested in him.
The panel where Dabi and Twice tag out, that whole page, I'm gonna need Bones to make sure they do it justice, because
that's why I said that no, when I saw that page, I said okay, I can't even lie anymore. Yeah, Dabi fumbled. Just because of that alone.
Like, and then boom.
All right. Now that we got Twice death, who else is dying? Because like my initial reaction to reading chapter Friday was, yeah, this is a good chapter, but I'm really upset. Like, I really didn't want Twice to die because he's like my top 3 favorite characters. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, so now all the heroes that's there at the mansion, at least 70% gotta die. I need at least one student to die, because like
I still don't know. Despite this happening, I still don't see any students dying. Not yet.
Okay, so
Kaminari, you gotta go, bro. I'm sad.
It's weird to say this, but I think this definitely puts popular students on the chopping block more than middle tier students.
Kirishima and Ida are the two who it would make the most sense, because Kirishima's whole thing is I will be a wall that will protect everybody and will like bleed for others. And then Ida's is all about you got to be fast enough and prioritize the rescue. So if he sacrifices himself to rescue someone, that would make sense. And Ida's character arc is complete. So Ida's the one I think is the closest.
No students.
Kirishima still has unfinished business.
No way. Only thing it would make it valid for a student to die, because that would like really crush the hero's reputation if they got a student killed.
Yeah,
class dead.
Like, even though I feel like if a class 1A student dies at this point, you just kind of be like, shit, that's just class 1A. Them niggas always in some shit. Like, it took this long. Like, I feel like that should be a reaction.
Yo, listen, when that Sado death happens, it's gonna hit different.
Man, nah, it's Coda death season. Let's get rid of that.
Coda dying is officially makes him the best mangaka in Jump history.
Why?
Fuck Coda. That's why.
No.
Hey.
No,
Bro, imagine when Shigaraki. I was telling Rex this. Imagine when Shigaraki finds out Twice died.
I want Shigaraki. I want the first thing the scariest bad guy in the series to do. He hears that Twice dies, and the first thing the scary monster does is shed a tear for his fallen friend. That would be crazy. Like, to show that he's still human.
Without chapped eyes.
Yeah.
No, we got to get him looking like Griffin out here.
Nah, and before his fucking transformation gives him actually like non-ashy skin.
That's what I'm saying. Have our boy out here looking like Griffin and decaying everything with one hand.
He kept the hand for aesthetic. I think he'll keep his chap skin.
Man, Maruko got to die now. All the people that were saying,
she's
agreed.
I mean, like, I said she was gonna die. Like, we talked about
if we cut back and she killed the high ends, I'll be very upset.
I don't even care if she kills the high end. I just need her to stay in that room until he wakes up. Because if that happens, she's dead.
But see, I don't think Shigaraki is like. We only like 10 chapters into this arc. We started at 258 on this arc. I don't.
Which is crazy.
No, even less than 10 chapters.
No, it's more than 10 chapters.
Nah, we started because this arc started at 258. I looked at it the other day.
No, it's 14. I promise you, it's 14.
It's 258, bro. I'm telling you.
No, it's not been more than 10.
Yeah, it's 258 because 258 was Hold on, I got it. Y'all keep going.
Actually,
the first chapter that starts it, I think it's the one where it's at the very end. It's like, we're gonna go evacuate everybody, and they're all looking off into the distance.
Yeah,
that's when
258. That's 258, I think.
No, it started before then.
No, nigga. I hate when he do that. I hate when he be like.
I'm telling you for a fact.
No.
I'll just look it up.
Okay, 258 is when So here's the thing: is that the arc announcement came super late, which doesn't help at all.
They still haven't announced it. I don't think.
Yes, they have.
They did.
They finally announced a new arc.
PLF arc.
So you can argue that 256 is the end of the previous one, and 257 is the start of this one because that's when they start discussing AFO, and since the transition becomes like what's coming next, and I think, hold on,
it's 258, bro.
Well, they don't actually. The thing is, they don't actually call this a new arc. What they do is they say what is it? They name the arc. They don't actually call it new.
Yeah.
That's the weird part about it. So you don't know where it starts really.
So that's like 9 chapters. That's like 9 chapters if we go by 250.
I would say 257 because that's the chapter that ends with the heroes disappeared from the streets.
Right, but the point is, not much time has passed, and we got this already.
Yeah,
jeez.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Is that the longest arc to date is the overhaul arc,
which is 40 chapters.
And Horikoshi has proven time and time again that you don't need 40 chapters to blast someone's nutsack off. Like,
I eat a pro hero arc.
Exactly. That's exactly the arc I was going to mention. Like, that was like 10 chapters, and it was heat the whole way through.
This is not even 10 chapters. This should be heat the whole way through.
And the thing is, like, the Pro Hero arc had a lot of like emotional moments, but those were like condensed. Like, we didn't get a chapter like this one where you're like, oh wow, this is a eulogy.
You just have to sit with it.
Yeah, like it was a cutaway action, but like this was just we're wrapping up on a eulogy, 6 pages of.
Yeah, when the spoilers dropped, they made it seem like all the pages were out. So the 2 pages where he gives the handkerchief back to Toga didn't exist. So whenever it came out, whenever it came out, I was like, oh my gosh, he added more pages. He knew. So I was like, it was like reading it for the first time again.
Also, like, honestly though, this is better than like assuming that Twice actually dies the same time his clone like melts. It's kind of more fulfilling to see him melt into pieces and get a goodbye than just watching him slowly die in a pile of rubble.
Well, the real one did.
Yeah, Kaiser says we still got at least a year left for this arc since we still got to cut away to Deku and wait for Shigi to awaken. I was talking to Rex about that on Friday too. It was like, bro, we still got so much shit to get to in this arc and spend time on individually, like Deku, Bakugo, like Shigaraki Endeavor moment. Like it's
We
still
got to see
formula
some
shit, bro.
Tokoyami shit. We got to see more Tokoyami
Yeah.
because we've already had like the setup of the emotional moments of him wanting to see Hawks again, and so like now we got to consider, is he gonna get to see Hawks when Hawks is all fucked up and damaged? Is he just gonna make it barely in time? Is he gonna be running away? There's a lot going on because like we know that the kids aren't just gonna get to escape. Like there's no way they're gonna get to just leave. And I feel like once Redestro puts on his Hulk Buster armor, bust out of the underground, like already the kids are gonna have to be ready to fight. Just what do they have? Like based on the heroes we've seen at the mansion, none of them are actually gonna be able to stand up to Burden.
I'd like to say that if you look at this chapter, some rando hero nearly captured Toga and Compress.
Yeah, that was true.
I mean, that quirk in specific was kind of, if you're close enough, you're caught.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, you almost got taken out by a non-named character.
But then
No.
But then that same character got killed by a knife to the neck.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: Toga's whole fighting style isn't straight up brute strength. It's like hit and run tactics and like don't her ability. He said he had a sensory ability, so that negated everything she could do. And we already know Compress isn't like a one-on-one fighter. He's a magician. He does with like deception and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's not even, sorry. I was gonna say it's not even just that. It's like you have to remember they are just like everybody else in this arc. They were caught off guard.
Yeah.
And
So
in addition to that, this could be implicative of them actually doing some group training because he says, Toga, your usual evasive techniques didn't work. So it might be that Compress is also using some of the same techniques that Toga uses, and that they do what I wish all groups would do in series and actually teach each other some of their moves and stuff.
Nah, bro, you gotta learn every technique by yourself.
Because I'm still tripping off the fact that the whole crew doesn't have hockey.
Mhm.
That bugs me. Like, why would you not teach each other?
No. We was talking about that, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? We're like, it makes no sense that Robin, who trained with arguably the strongest dude in the series, Sabo, Koala, like potentially Ivankov, like all these people, and does not have observation armament hockey, and is not one of the strongest people in the crew.
But yeah.
It makes no sense.
How do you 60 chapters into Wano when you only get an off-screen Sanji fight?
Oof.
Let's not talk about One Piece. Let's not talk about. But this chapter was crazy. I think that honestly, what's gonna happen with Hawks is he's gonna be flying away, limping on one wing, right into the sky, and Tokiyomi's gonna see him, and then that's when Daiba's gonna burn him down from the sky, and that's how Tokyo sees him down like Icarus. Like going up, trying to fly away, gets burnt, and that's how Tokiyomi sees him down.
Well, the thing is though, he said he can't sustain flight, so why would he fly away?
No, limp, like barely.
No. I know. I'm saying he already states himself that he can't fly away. Like
for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, sorry, because he says like his wing cannot sustain flight.
Rex trying to dramatize and make it poetic.
Yeah, I'm like that would be nice, but that don't seem like that'd be possible considering his situation.
I think Toga gonna kill that nigga.
All this is making me wonder is when is he gonna get that clown costume?
Who? Rex?
Yeah.
Soon, my boy. Soon.
No.
Need that.
Bro, you know what the first thing Rex told me when I hit him up?
What?
He was like, bro, I told you Dobby not told you. I'm like, my nigga.
I mean, all that chapter really says that I think we're gonna get that reveal sooner rather than later. But I don't think it said anything. I don't think it said anything about him not being Toya.
Give him a couple more weeks to look like Pennywise.
Yeah,
because the whole Toya community was hanging on the thread that he's name dropped Enji Todoroki and Shoto Todoroki. He just did Hawks too, so you can't run on that theory no more.
Well,
man.
but do you know why? Do you know why that's not? Well, that still doesn't really take it away.
Yeah.
Okay, him knowing Hawks' name, that would work. That would debunk the theory if he only said Enji's name. But Shoto is not a hero. He's not a top hero or a pro hero at all. He's a student. So
Yeah,
But also, like,
the
I'd
villain-
also
hold on,
like
why
to-
would he know his
like,
name?
no. Because they're in the
I'd like to
sports
quote a
festival.
fact from the data book.
Yeah, his name isn't Shoto Todoroki in the thing.
What, their names are not shown on the school board and stuff?
No, they don't show these niggas. They don't show these niggas names like that. They don't show their full names.
I think they did actually.
Wait, hold on. Sports
They
festival.
did.
I'm pretty
Like
sure
the
they
most
did. I'm pretty.
popular event in Japan. I'm pretty sure at least.
Nah, yeah, they did name him.
In,
It's
But-
true.
They dropped their full names. I don't remember them dropping their full names.
in
Yeah, no,
sports
they did.
festival,
But
they
but
did.
my thing is him saying Hawk's name doesn't debunk that, bro.
Yeah, because Hawks was
Because, like,
surprised. Hawks was
okay.
surprised because nobody is supposed to know his
To
name.
me,
And to
Okay.
go further on that, you
Yeah.
did say they were hanging on the thread that they said the names. There's way more evidence than just the names.
Yeah, exactly. It's way more evidence than the name.
Okay.
reaffirmation, because like I said earlier, Dobby more than likely would have ran into Hawks' children.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I'd like to just
Yeah.
tell you something.
What?
From the data book, it says that like the public isn't supposed to know Hawks' name. That's essentially a government secret. Only the commission knows his name, which is Kiego Takumi.
So why
So
does
Dobby knowing his name just makes it more interesting? Because okay, let's say he is Toya. What if he also has connections to the commission?
I'm iffy on that.
I still don't trust the maid part because they say like, oh, the maid threw her back out around the time that Toya went
Look,
missing.
this is what they gotta understand. Dobby get a lot of flack because he hasn't really been fleshed out, but Dobby's probably the most interesting character in the league, and we don't know what happened to Dobby. With Dobby being Toya, we don't know what happened to why is Toya believed to be dead and what happened to him if he's not. So we don't know. Like once we get Dobby's backstory, that shit gonna clear up a whole lot of shit.
Well, for
'Cause
right
you know-
now,
you know something I
right now,
consider-
go ahead.
I considered a while back, like this is one of those things that I definitely never talked about because I was like, nah, this is just like random crackpot theory. But like I considered Dobby basically being a Hawks who never became a hero, but basically got some of the same training, the same work with the
I
Hero
actually
Commission,
considered Hawks
and then was just like sent to be a villain.
The only reason I don't like that is because Dobby's technique is super low.
Yeah. No, I agree with Rex on that one because it's like the problem with Dobby is, well, they picked up Hawks for the specific fact that he was a fucking super prodigy at the age of like 5. So the difference is why would they pick up Dobby's bitch ass and he can't barely control his power?
Because he's a Todoroki and he still has, at the end of the day, like a pretty high tier.
He has immense power, even if he doesn't have technical power.
And so,
yeah,
like,
the thing is that immense power damages him, and
Yeah, and not to mention,
over time.
and not to mention, go ahead. Sorry.
At best, he'd be a glass cannon that you put in for a
yeah,
raid.
but that's why he's not a hero. That's why he's just the dude that you have running with the villains.
But they could have experimented on him and tried to control his power, and then he ended up like having psychological trauma, escaped, and ended up joining the villains and even being more jaded towards the heroes. I mean, it's a lot of ways you can go to it, but we need his backstory.
Well, that's a good thing about that's why I rebuke anybody who says that they're just going to be bored if it's revealed to be Toya, because there's far more to it than just that. Like,
Because
at this point, they keep adding on more and more layers to this reveal. There's more and more things that you have to find out. That's not just that he's Toya and he's alive. There's more and more to it than that.
Did the doctor take him, for example? Because like let's talk about like, oh, maybe we don't want to make a Nomu out of a guy whose quirk has so much backlash because the regeneration quirk would actually be able to keep up with the blue flames.
I have a question for you guys. Do you think that the commission, the people who confiscated all the Nomu and Camino, do you think they would be willing to use them?
I would.
Yeah,
They couldn't use them.
they couldn't, but if they found a way, they would use them. Yes.
Yeah, they couldn't, but they
If
could.
they had a way to access their commands, you think they would use Nomus? Not make
Yes.
them, just use them from the ones in Camino.
Definitely. They would
Yeah.
let those loose on the Paranormal Liberation Front in a heartbeat. They basically told Hawks, if people die, they die. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the heroes will use it.
No,
that's not the same as the
the
Hero Commission letting them go and then like them rampaging, destroying some of the Paranormal Liberation Front and being put down by the heroes to make the heroes look more heroic and like a falling out came between the Paranormal Liberation Front and the League of Villains.
Because the heroes,
government that was advocating for child soldiers to get more involved after every single big villain attack, right?
Yeah, that's
guess what? Mandatory internships.
That's why it's like a shoe-in that if they had access to the Nomu and they could make them, or if they could reprogram them, they would do it. Like you could argue all day that, well, this is a job that they required the kids for, but they could have found some adults and been like, hey, look, we want to conscript you in the service. We'll train you with your cord. But no, they were like, no, we'll just take the kids that we already got learning to be heroes.
I can see a reason why they would use the kids, because at every generation the quirks naturally get stronger. So already you're dealing with more, on average, better power than the adults.
Mm-hmm.
And like about it this way, in certain situations they would be excellent counters. Who's a hero that operates the best in the dark in current hero society? We don't know that, but you know who UA, an elite hero high school, has? Tokoyami.
Well, that's the thing. Most of the UA, like the UA the big kids in the UA classes, like Deku, Bakugo, Shoto, Tokoyami, we know they're at least as good or better than like what's considered an average hero or like average sidekicks.
Even in sports festivals, Shoto is considered above like an average pro.
Yeah, because I mean, you also got to think about the fact that we're talking about a hero ranking system with thousands of people in it. But the idea that people going to the pinnacle of hero schools being better than professional heroes who might have gone to the run-of-the-mill one and got a license isn't that far-fetched, especially when you factor in the quality of quirks and characters about to go.
They ever specify how many hero schools there are? Because they're only showing about 3 or 4 of them.
We have not gotten the specifications on how many there are.
Gentle went to all types of hero schools. Even a really low and easy one couldn't get him into.
But the thing is that we know the 2 biggest ones, Shiketsu and UA. We know that there's Ketsubutsu. We based on the fact there was 1,500 students at the provisional license exam, we know that there's at least 30, 40 per exam, putting out classes and stuff. So.
What's that math? Hold on. Let's just say 40. 1,500 divided by 4. It's 37 and a half. So 38. So 30, like 38 schools.
No, plus the other 38. So that's 76.
Yeah, that's at least
76 hero schools. And it's important to remember that Ketsubutsu only sent 8 kids. So not even everybody sent 20 whole students to the exams.
Chances are they only send their best as well.
So if they're only sending half classes, not counting UA, then it's basically like we got like 100. What was that? Like
150.
That makes sense. 150.
I would also like to add, after Hosu and Camino, they had made the exams harder because the original probabilities of you getting a license last year would have been 50%, and then out of 1,540 students, only 100 had passed, so that leaves you with a 115 odd. Actually, 116 and a half, if you want to be really tired.
Really? Yeah.
Like
isn't that kind of counterintuitive to what they're saying right now, though?
No. Well, so I think it's not, because they want quality and quantity, so they want to produce So that's the reason they didn't fail like everybody that didn't pass the second part of the exam, because like they still realize they need more people, but they want to give like teamwork to those ones that do get it. So it's like if 100 kids pass, is the exam every 6 months or every year?
Yeah, it's every 6 months.
Now here's the question: why is Seiji here? Potentially.
So
Seiji,
let's say there's 100.
Potato Boy.
Huh?
You know Seiji.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude from Shiketsu High, the one who turned like Kirishima and Bakugo into meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is he here? Because he didn't even get to the second part of the exam.
Because all hero course students were, if you were in the hero course, you got put into a work study for this last one.
He wasn't in the hero course.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I mean in the course. I thought you meant like in the remedial course with Bakugo in there.
Yeah, no, you just had to be in the hero course. Any hero
Oh,
course
okay.
student was conscripted into these work studies. So even if we saw like 1,500 students there, it doesn't matter. Like assuming every class has like 20 students and there's like 150 schools, we're talking 20 times the 150 schools. That's a couple of thousand students that were pulled in here, whether they're first year, second years, or third years. It didn't matter, which is really scary because you think about the fact that there's like just straight up garbage ass hero schools sending out their freshmen from their garbage ass hero program.
Hold on. At least if you can give one nice thing to the commission, they at least made it, at least for overhaul, that the agency you had to go to had to be established. You couldn't go to some 99-cent store hero office that like rescues cats from trees. So
Yeah.
I mean, they said eat of the manual. Look how trash he is.
I mean, having a good agency doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a really good hero yourself.
Yeah, I think this just shows that they're getting more desperate because of the absence of All Might, and it just shows how good the Liberation Front and the League of Villains are.
Well, yeah,
I think it's even better because it shows that the collapse is already going on. Some people said like, because I think people tried to argue against the whole like All Might should have died thing to say that, well, yeah, he's not getting to witness his the fall and stuff. Nothing's changed. There's a lot of changes.
Yeah, people who like, if you can read this series and say like nothing has changed since All Might retired, or even like kind of come away with that sentiment by the overhaul arc, even though the overhaul arc directly stated the crime rate is going up, more gangs are forming, people are fighting for the thrones, it's the top evil symbol, and like the good guys are struggling to find a symbol. Like that is directly dialogue from the encounter between Overhaul and Shigaraki meeting, and from the chapter of Twice just walking the streets by himself.
I mean, we fought one of those gangs, Overhaul's gang.
I imagine people see that as a way to be like, oh, what is it? Nah.
I feel like people forget that like Kamino literally led to a throne war for being the king of the underworld.
Yeah, but I think the way people were looking at it is that they're expecting what the aftermath we're expecting of this arc. That's what they were expecting out of the outcome of that arc, which I mean is a little too fast here for my taste.
They weren't expecting
and also,
subtle decay. They were expecting an immediate fall.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Like people who say that like there hasn't been much change since Kamino.
Oh, those people are idiots, bro.
Dustin is always like blunt with it.
Yeah, those people are idiots, bro.
Okay,
also, like, you got to think about it, like, All Might, real quick. Like, you got to think about it. All Might himself is probably not the only person, but he's the only one we've seen have direct issue with the way the commission is running things right now. He's literally against every time the students have to go out for internship or something or do something, he's the only one that's like, no, they shouldn't do this. No, they shouldn't do that. Keep them in here. Keep them as kids. And he's the only one that's really having issues with all of this. So it's like, if the person
that's also because All Might is so used to doing and taking care of everything himself.
Well, it's not even just that though. It's the fact that it's also the fact he's supposed to be like an ideal hero because he's the one who's morally sound because he's the one who's actually been like spared from the corruption of Hero Society.
And the thing is that.
Wait, did you say All Might was spared from the corruption of Hero Society?
All Might. Okay, here's the thing. All Might technically causes some of the corruption in Hero Society, but he himself is not.
He is not.
He has not been corrupted. He is the cause of the corruption, but he is not the corruption itself.
Which is kind of ironic because he halted the corruption and caused it at the same time.
Well, because at the end of the day, All Might was larger than life. And in the context of being a hero, what that does is that makes you larger. Your existence becomes larger than the problems that people face every day. And so in turn, the thing that people loved about All Might was that he was like smiling. He kind of created like a spectacle, even if that wasn't the main thing. It was like, wow, this confident guy shows up and blows people away literally with his fist. This is like, we live in a prosperous, glorious time. You kind of get this like, yeah, like what, and he like shows up and he laughs and makes people smile. And then like everybody is kind of like adding in, well, a bit of marketing. Like he saw it as, I wanted to like influence people to make them happy and confident. And other heroes decided to replicate that, but it ended up manifesting in other different ways and avenues. Like, well, maybe people love the idea of their hero selling them coffee. which Endeavor has a coffee brand, or they love fashion lines like Lumi and like all these other different things that you can like create and think about. Like, oh, this is other ways to influence heroes. Even Jiro's Culture Festival songs, Jiro 2, which they knocked that out of the park.
Oh yeah,
that's reflective of the fact that heroism is more than just beating the bad guy. It's about making people happy, but to that degree, the commercial uses of your talent are valid ways to approach it. It's a strangely non-toxic concept being applied and showcased in the ways that it hits its like most toxic manifestation points, where some people become heroes strictly because they know they can get a bunch of deals out of it. So yeah, I'll go stomp out some druggies so that I can get a magazine shoot and make lots of money. Like that mentality is something
I'd like to say that Momo's internship during after sports festival in Hosu before that was spent literally on Uwabami's commercials.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I think they would save like the first basic stuff for the first year, and then go into how to build your image, because it comes off more like a media influencer than like actual hero work.
Well, and that's the thing.
So you said you said she was over. She was working as like an influencer rather than a hero. That makes it's kind of how it comes off. Yeah.
Yeah, like
she just comes off as like you ever see those like girls on like Instagram who are always advertising products?
Yeah.
Like the ass and titties.
My tummy tea. That's what it comes off as.
The fact that I'm pretty sure My Tummy Tea is a specific and actual brand makes that hit a lot harder.
Or waist trainers.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is that being a hero is supposed to just be more focused around like doing things to make the world better, not doing things to make yourself rich. But like the Sleepy Mirror said, it doesn't make sense to ask people to risk their lives and not get paid for it.
Yep.
I mean, like,
Can I read this? Can I read this? Like, run through this thread. This is a real thread I read the other day. Speaking to what Anarchy and Squid was talking about. It's Black Manga Critic did this. He was like, the school festival arc is a crucial part of my hero story for several reasons. Who got that weird shit in their background?
I think it's Squid. It's Squid.
Up until that point, Deku had only fought villains that didn't really push him to consider why he was fighting them. Stain, Shigaraki, Muscular, and Overall were easy to view as bad guys. Gentle is really the first villain who pushes him to consider why he's fighting, thinking about what he's trying to protect, and to wonder if his own motivations outweigh his opponents. His battle with Gentle and Labrava is more of an ideological clash than any battle before it. Gentle is a villain in a technical case, but Deku understands that there's more to Gentle than technicality. Otherwise, he wouldn't have bothered to have a whole ass conversation with Gentle and tell Gentle that he wouldn't mock his motivations. Deku sees that being a hero requires empathy. Moreover, it's important to know that Deku is literally fighting for his classmates to have the ability to be students and have fun, to have those slice of life moments without being interrupted by villains all the time. Through Deku versus Gentle, Horikoshi tells reader that slice of life experiences are important to his story. But the slice of life stuff isn't just filler or unnecessary. It's precious and must be protected. And let's not forget Eri, who must be protected at all costs. Horikoshi shows readers that there's more nuance to being a hero than fighting to save the world. Deku versus Gentle fight to protect Miro's ability to be a hero to Eri in a way that doesn't involve his recently lost quirk. Miro can still be an amazing hero. It just goes on like that. That's pretty much it.
I have a question. When Deku becomes a hero, do you think he'll do any sponsorships or anything?
Who, Deku?
Yeah.
I don't think it will be booming like that when Deku's a hero.
Yeah, they probably won't. But in theory, if they were, I think he'd do one or two. But I don't think he'd be like staking his whole career on it. Like,
I think Deku might be forced into it, like kind of like when All Might tried to use gear one time, like support gear. But I don't think he would I don't think Deku would be flagshipping the promotions and shit. Like he would be like, let's do. Yeah, we got to do this. Like
that's
Dekus.
That's something that I've heard.
Dekus. I mean, I think he knows himself.
Bakugo, even Tokoyami and Ida, like they both have like the potential to like be really high tier heroes in the future and all kinds of stuff. But none of them strike me as the kind that'll actually be caught up in like the whirlwind of marketing. Like Bakugo is going to be too busy solving cases.
Yeah,
like like same with Deku. Shoto is like hilariously bad at like the social, where he might just be like the dude who ends up making a bunch of money off of like his brand, off of being the same aloof dude that he always is, and just doing interviews.
He got
I
a lot of
think-
fangirls. That's about it.
I mean, I think it's been subtly hinted through the remedial course that Todoroki might go into something like something with like either like orphanages or just like kids who have bad home lives, because he smiles the most he's ever smiled in the series when he's like playing with those kids and like having fun with them. And so I'd really like it if he kind of becomes the inverse of his dad. He becomes a hero for like who feels kind and warm, and like you can like that's even what he said in his interview. They asked, what kind of hero do you want to be, and he goes, I want to be approachable and someone who you can feel safe around.
I got 2 questions for y'all.
Yeah.
What percentage do y'all think this arc has the chance to be the greatest shonen arc ever, and what has to happen in order for it to be the greatest shonen arc ever?
I have to witness the collapse. I have to see a few more deaths, and I have to see what is it? And I have to see All Might die specifically.
And Endeavor. I feel like Endeavor has to die just as much as All Might at this point.
I feel he do, but I don't necessarily need it to be now.
We need it. No, you need it now, bro. Because the hero society can't fall without Endeavor dying.
Are you sure?
Yes, he's the number 1 hero.
He can just take over as the number. Oh, he'd be dead. I mean, no, he'd be dead. I mean, Eddie Shot
is not based on anything we've seen on the level of Endeavor.
I mean,
Yeah, like,
we did see he could put a hole in 10 people and tell them night or die. So
Yeah, but he's a ninja. He don't talk to nobody. Nobody cares. Nobody feels safe. Nobody feels like they're like super safe around this nigga.
Like,
you're gonna get a hole put in you. That's what's gonna happen.
don't get me wrong, Deadshot is strong, but when you think about the fact that Endeavor could have walked up and like thrown a wave of flames and like took out a bunch of those niggas and kept it moving, like while Flash stepping past him, it's like he could do just as fast with more.
This man literally moonwalking while he was beating 10 criminals.
Because like Deadshot, I don't think Deadshot has the same presence. Like even like the fact that he's even on a hero team, right? That alters the way like his ability to be a symbol, because it's already known that like his efficiency went up when he got other people underneath him. So at that point, Deadshot wouldn't be able to be the symbol so much as his team would.
No, actually. What are the possibility changes to where the only hero that's left out of the top 10 is fucking Kamui?
Wash.
Well, I'm saying Kamui because he was like the first hero we were introduced to.
I got Wash winning though, the water cyclones.
But I'll answer your question, Dustin. So I don't know about like percentages, but my favorite shonen arc is Chimera Ant, and my favorite thing about it is how every single character and every single part of it ties into the theme of humanity and what like each character represents an aspect of humanity. So if My Hero Academia is about hero society and heroism, then all of the big moments need to tie into those themes and culminate in either the collapse, obviously, or just in something really strong to where it just like all ties together. Like every piece of this arc needs to tie into heroism or how hero society treats villains or all those things. And if it can coalesce into like a big moment, then it could be my favorite, because that's what, if Chimera Ant is my favorite shonen arc, that's what I get out of it, is that everything coalesces to the theme. So that's what I want.
Well, so far it's going in the right direction, because as I called it before, it's the culmination of everything, and it's going very hard on that whole hero society is a flawed system.
Yeah.
And that's the thing for me, right? Is that the greatest for something to be the greatest shonen arc, right? I think, yeah, it kind of needs to be a culmination of thematics. The action needs to be fulfilling. At the end of the day, this is partially a visual medium, so we do have to look at the art, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, Horikoshi has dropped multiple chapters with 4-page spread, like 4 spreads and all kind, like, so the art is firing off. The action sequence we got, even with these being briefer, more like similar to how there's like a lot of skirmishes, but the reason why these skirmishes go this way is because, like with, for example, the Kaminari versus the Commander, that was a neutralization, that was about minimizing conflict. One of the things that I think is important in this arc is that we don't turn it into, to a certain degree, the same way that the overhaul arc was, where we had a chain of like 1v1s or 1v3s in different battles.
Right.
Because
So
one of the things that, as much as people like the idea of having really long fights in My Hero, the whole point of Heroes is to end things as quickly as possible, minimize collateral damage, minimize the margins of areas of risk, and all these other things. So we kind of need to see the fights be that way until the villains start stomping. And even then, like, look at anybody who goes and fights against Dobby, that fight shouldn't be long. Either they need to knock him out, or he is going to land a critical blow, causing them some serious damage. But so we kind of need the fight structure to stay the way it's been throughout the series, where people are basically trying to put each other down, be efficient, go for the kill, not overuse their quirks, see people going beyond their limits ultimately, yes, but it needs to stay in line with what we've come to expect from the series. And in addition to that, we need Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto, all three of them, to tie back into this in a very meaningful and fulfilling way. We haven't had an arc where the three of them got like an equally fulfilling story arc in quite some time. And so like the stuff with the Endeavor internship ended up focusing more on like, yes, their mechanics, they got like equal improvement in certain degrees, or like they improved at a similar rate, but ultimately that was the keeping up with Todoroki's family.
That whole long fight thing is overrated anyway.
Oh yeah, no, like I don't. So like we don't need it to turn into a ridiculous slugfest. We need the society, the Hero Society has to fall. That's a given. We've all agreed like that's what this needs to trend to. It's supposed to be the rise of the villain saga. They need to, at the very least, even if we don't see like heroes completely fade away, the entire way that Hero Society is handled should be something that's basically unrecognizable from the beginning of the series.
If we pay off Ochiko's story arc and she gets a fight, then it'll instantly gain a point.
That too. So, yeah. And I think this is the perfect arc for Bakugo to actually have a villain fight.
What if Bakugo dies?
That would actually be what seals it for me.
I mean,
if Bakugo died this arc, it would seal this one being like the greatest.
I don't need him to die until he gets a real fucking fight.
What if he does get a real fight and he dies?
just fights heroes.
That'd be hilarious, but that'd also be kind of fucked. That's a terrible look.
So the thing is, though, is that
I see him dying saving Deku if he do die.
If we get a Bakugo fight, regardless of if he dies or not, you know it's going to be some of the best art in the entire series.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Something to also remember is Horikoshi mentioned in an interview that Bakugo still isn't fully redeemed for what he did to Deku, and he still needs to apologize. So that has to happen too.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if the movie's any a good indication of this, but he talked in the movie about how they are supposed to have another fight too. Like he wants to fight them once he's fully made that quirk his own, so then they can truly see so he can truly show him that he is better than him.
Bro, when we get that chapter titled Deku versus Bakugo 3.
See, and before this arc happened, when it did, I was counting on that being a sports festival fight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
Even though
my question is like, why would Horikoshi show the sports festival stage right before the war?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I actually reread that. He shows all the facilities of UA. He doesn't just show the sports festival.
It's more about walking.
Special about it.
To me, there was something. It was more about like, this is the story you've seen so far. You've seen us be at the USJ. You've seen that. You've seen the sports festival, the dorms. This is all. It was more like, this is where the story has been building to. We see all those, and then I think that chapter transitions into that day the heroes vanished. It was our artistic way of like walking you through, being like real quick. Think about all the shit you've seen, because today is the day that it all like changes. This is where
this is
it
when
all
the
comes
fire
to a
needs
head.
attacked.
Yeah.
And that's why it's great, because as I said, this is the culmination arc, and that's what I've been this is what we've been reading for 6 years for.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we were all kind of worried during a few of the chapters where we were like, oh no, the heroes are getting too much, but we still haven't fulfilled the prophecy where all the heroes vanish. So.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to ask y'all that. I completely forgot. I see somebody mention that. I wanted to ask y'all, because that's why I went back and read 257, 258 this week. Because they said, like, in 257, it says all the heroes vanished on this day. But then when we get 258, it says 2 months ago. So everything that's happening right now is this
That was just for the Hawks scene.
I don't know, bro, because they didn't like.
I'm pretty sure that was just the Hawks flashback. I think
because there's
the way I
there's like
took
black outlining for the panels.
Because the way that I took that page was to say that all the heroes are on duty for this fucking assault.
But they're in the city because they're attacking the hospital.
But like soon as they 2 months ago, we see the heroes lining up outside. Like they didn't train. It wasn't like a flat. Like I say, roughly 2 months ago, they're talking. We see all of the new squads. And we see Twice sitting there while they get. Oh, wait, hold on. Then we see a flashback between him and Twice having a conversation, and then he said, "Let's fly as how we want together." And then, bam, you see the heroes walking in.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So
they don't fast forward us back.
So here's the thing. No. Because here's the thing. In the official translation, it starts with the black borders, which is indicative of flashback, and it says turning back the clock 2 months. So it's saying we're going back. It's directly telling us that 2 months ago was a flashback.
No, but I'm saying I think everything is in the 2. Oh no, it do say a week after though. A week after the hospital tip. No. But yeah, it says 2 months ago, a week after the hospital tip. So that's where we at.
So you're saying where does it say then we're back to the 4 months?
This is all. I think this is all 2 months ago. Everything that we're reading right now is all 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on 1 second.
I'm reading the chapter because like Twice, when he's talking to when Hawks is talking to Twice, that's all they having a meeting and all of that.
But all of that is in the black borders from 2 months back.
The way I took it, the way I take that, I'm looking at it right now, is the Twice and Hawks scene is 2 months ago. That is because it says 1 week has passed since they hit the hospital. So it's saying that once we go back to the present day, a week has passed since we found out about the hospital shit. That's and
the hospital stuff did happen in the present, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the hospital stuff is happening in the present. Like all of that is happening in the present, and the Hawks flashback was 2 months.
No, it's saying roughly 2 months ago, a week after the hospital tip. Like this is happening 2 months ago, right after they got the tip about the hospital.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Where do you see that? Because it says I'm looking at.
No. I don't think the hint they're referring to when they say hospital hint. I think they're talking about the Shirakumo thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So like that's that hospital tip, not
but that's
the
still
one from the inside.
No, that's still the hospital tip. That's how they figured out where all the that's how they got the connection to go attack the hospitals.
I'm saying that's just when the confrontation took place.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's 2 months ago, a week after. It's like
but this is still in the present.
No,
because I'm saying what is it? No, I'm saying why would they say 2 months?
It's like Anarchy. Remember when we had went to this the new restaurant on 75th 2 months ago, a week after we had both ran a train on Shamika? That's exactly what this is. Roughly 2 months ago, a week after the hospital tip. That's exactly what that is.
But I'm saying like that's context for the conversation. So
I'm saying they're taking us back. When we start the chapter, we're going back to 2 months ago, and everything I'm seeing in it doesn't make a distinction of we're not in 2 months ago anymore.
It's once you stop having the black borders. So if you go back to the final page of the flag, when he says "Let's fly free together," the blacks has a gradient to white, and so that's just it's like a cultural manga thing where it's like, all right, the flashback is over. Is what that is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too because like once you get to the heroes walking, it's a complete white border again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cultural things.
Yeah, I wouldn't really see why they have like
Night Eye.
Night Eye is underappreciated. I really need to stop procrastinating and just do that video.
I'm waiting for it. It's gonna be great.
All right, real quick. Hold on, real quick. To answer your old question, Dustin, like about what percentage I think this has of being the greatest shonen arc. I think it's at like 20% right now.
Yeah.
And I think what needs to happen for this arc to be the greatest shonen arc of all time. One, Deku needs to see All Might die this arc. Bakugo, if Best Genius is dead, Bakugo needs to get confirmation of that, and we need to hear his hero name. I think Tokyomi needs to see Hawks die, I think that like surpassing all the deaths and all that, we need to see the League of Villains win. We need there to be a collapse of the society. We need the citizens to see that the heroes are bad, like or not like what they're cracked up to be. We need Hawks to be revealed to be like this double agent. We need him to like know that he was working with the villains at one point. All of this stuff needs to get revealed. All of this stuff needs to tie back into each other. Shigaraki needs to come out and be a symbol, not only to I think the villains in the Liberation Front. There needs to be civilians that's going to rally behind him as well. And I don't know if all of that is going to happen in this one arc.
What is it?
So,
I mean, I don't need all that. I just need some of it.
I mean, what's your answer?
He's saying for it to be the greatest shonen arc ever.
yeah, all of that needs to happen.
That was my question. What would have to
Yeah.
happen?
Mhm.
I feel like all the deaths that have been set up have to happen, and they have to be like extremely impactful, just like this one. We have to get some great monumental fights that lead to those deaths. We have to get some great reveals. Well, we was already confirmed that we are gonna get some great reveals before this arc even started by the editors anyway. We have to get some great reveals. Shigaraki has to come out and just have like one of the most epic villain moments of all time, the way he just like deconstructs everything and everyone. And then it has to be something like extra that we just don't expect. Like it's just something else that just pushes it all over the edge.
Something we didn't know we needed until we get it.
Yeah. Kind of like Twice Dying, but even bigger, like times 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is not Twice Dying was not a prediction anybody had.
Yep.
I don't think anybody. I've never seen a video. I've never.
I told you, Rex. He talked about we talked about in the stream or something. I'm like, no, we did not.
Read.
No. We hold on. Let me explain myself. I said we did talk about when the MVA was going on. We were saying how Twice is so overpowered that we think he's going to die because that's the only way to like hinder his ability. Because if he's out there in the streets,
you said soon.
No, we did say that. Like we could go back to the streams and stuff. Like I nobody wants to do that and like go through the footage, but I'm telling you.
That's why you banking on that. Nobody could go back to the footage.
I'm not going back to it. I mean, y'all just gonna have to take my word as a man right now. But if I don't, it is.
Oh, don't fool that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
The only reason I'm saying it because I vividly remember us, like me, you having this conversation, and then me and Nikki having a conversation about this in different groups of people on separate occasions.
So
that's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
I remember us talking about how Twice. I've had many discussions about how Twice specifically is an extreme liability and dangerous, and he has to either be coerced, imprisoned, or killed. But we never really discussed whether or not Horikoshi would actually go through with it.
And especially not right now. I think we're talking about him dying at the end of the series, possibly.
Like, yeah, I've had discussions about Twice having to die at the end. I remember I was talking to East a while back, and he kind of was like, he almost wants MHA to have certain parts be more or less a flashback told by Compress or Twice or Spinner, like writing a novel essentially, like talking to somebody in prison, having that be like some of the things that we find out towards the end, like how MBA was narrated by Spinner. So to a certain degree, if we find out that like the more villainous parts are like written from his perspective. So, but like, I don't think one of the things though, like when Destin earlier said, it's a shonen. To a certain degree, you almost never expect character favorites to die. And when you look at like Asuma's death in part 2, or like even Ace's death, or like Kite's death, there's a lot of deaths that like they matter in these giant like wars, but it's because of their relation to the other character. Like, yes, Ace does have a lot of fans, but he wasn't like on screen a lot. Twice is somebody who we've actually had built up, fleshed out.
Yeah, multiple flashbacks.
Also, Ace didn't go out just terribly. Like, okay, he could have avoided death if he just was sure of Whitebeard's. Like,
You got quieter and quieter, Squid. You like just die. You're just fading away into the background.
He was like, yo, Akahini was talking wild on the mic, and then guess what? He got angry, and then he died.
Yeah, like I don't like the execution of that death still. But my point.
Who's deaf?
Ace died because he called his daddy a bitch.
But
Listen,
more,
when Shanks, when Whitebeard, when everyone is telling you, hey, maybe you shouldn't try catching this dude, like, and then you do it.
Oh, hold on. You ain't gonna talk about a nigga I never met before. That shit was dumb. One Piece trash.
damn. Chill, y'all. We're being polite today.
I'm so happy that shit was on break this week. I had to see people tweet about spoilers all week. So happy.
Oh, I just had
Man.
to. I just saw someone say that the reason that they don't want to get into One Piece and a lot of people is because of the fandom. And then I quoted the person and I was like, bro, here's the thing about One Piece. The Water 7 to in a pre-time skip is some of the best arcs in Shonen. But the problem is before then and after then, there's so many bad and average arcs that it levels itself out to where One Piece is just an average series at this point.
And Water 7 in any lobby is mid.
Whoa.
Hot take.
I mean, I just read it for the first time.
That's
Hot take.
Oh, you read it?
I just read it.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Okay.
I wasn't ready for that.
That was a really big hot take. I've never heard anyone say
I was
this loud.
bored for like a good 50% of it. So
No, watch it instead. One thing I will say is that the reason I like One Piece so much is because of nothing that happened among. It's all strictly anime. Like no. I'm being surreal. The walk to Arlong Park, the walk to save, the walk to redeem Usopp, the walk to Enies Lobby, the music, like how all of that was done in the anime was perfect. Like the Soga King song, like all of this stuff that was just done in an anime that is just so much better because and then Brooke singing like the Binko Sake song when they like did it at the end of the Thriller Bark arc. Like,
I can't remember when Luffy punches Celestial Dragon, like everybody was like, he ain't about to do that. No, he about to do that. Nigga did it. Yeah.
Then the animation goes on that. Like all of that is strictly anime related, and that's why I say the best way to consume One Piece, no matter how y'all feel about the anime right now, is the anime.
But that's also not true because if you start the anime for One Piece, you may not even get to those great moments because it started so trash.
I was gonna say I can understand Ian's thing though because I'm not gonna lie I agree with him. I don't really find Water 7 all that great.
Water 7 is cool, but in his lobby is not mid.
That's the one I'm like I can't agree with that, but Water 7 I can feel that easily.
Yeah, I can talk to you guys about that later. Still
people lump Water 7 and Enies Lobby together though.
I'm sorry, Aniki. I didn't mean to hijack the stream.
I mean, like how you feel is how you feel. Like
how you feel is how you feel, man.
Like there's stuff that I think there's stuff that I've like watched and been like, all right, but like, why do people love this? Like what? Like I don't know how Akame ga Kill ever got popular.
I don't either.
So let me tell you this about Akame ga Kill. The anime completely butchered it. And so when the first episode of Akame ga Kill came out, I did the thing that I always do. I was like, damn, this is good. Let me read the manga. The manga was so much fucking better. Like it's not even close. Like it's not even close. Like they butchered it. So like the shock value is what got Akame ga Kill so popular. Like main characters are dying that we care about. But it got to the point where it was like predictable that the main character was going to die. But the manga handled it a lot differently, so it's a lot better. So when people say Akame ga Kill, I say just read manga. It's a lot better.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I've heard.
If a show advertises itself on killing its characters, see the episode list and see which character gets screen time. And if they get screen time, then that's how you know they're dead.
Yeah, that is kind of how it worked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it got really stupid when they killed Tatsumi.
But he didn't die in the manga.
I know he doesn't. I know he turns into a giant fucking dragon.
Hey, my nigga.
You wasn't reading that. Shut up, Dustin.
I was thinking about reading it. I watched the anime. I never read the
manga. Hold up. Kane Y is shiny Akame ga Kill. Yes.
I don't. Well, this last arc commission no Yaba is complete garbage.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
But the Red Light District arc is one of the best new arcs in Shonen, though.
That don't save the fact that I haven't liked the villain since Akaza.
Yeah, that's the same here.
You didn't like the villains in the Red Light District arc?
No, he said he's saying like Yeah, like from this arc, like the middle, like the beginning of this arc to now, he hasn't liked any villains.
Yeah,
Right.
this whole arc is garbage.
I wouldn't say the whole arc because I'm like, yeah, I used to say the
No,
Akaza was amazing.
once this arc. No, I take it back. This arc was good until they announced in the middle of it that it was ending, and then it just got completely trashed from that moment on.
Wasn't that around the Upper Moon 2 fight? Because like that's where it started falling off for me, which is a shame. I actually like Inosuke.
I don't care about Doma. I don't care about Doma at all, and I don't really care about Inosuke either. So it's like either it didn't really save it for me.
Well, the Inosuke tried.
Inosuke is a fun character. He's
question.
not really great. He's just fun.
Well, I have
I
a
like
question.
Inosuke.
How is a side character's death in My Hero more emotional when your MC is dying in Kimetsu no Yaiba?
Yeah, I feel nothing with this nigga Tanjiro missing a whole arm, and it's crazy too because I fuck with Tanjiro. I fuck with him.
Let me get this off my chest, please. Let me get this off my chest. I'm very confused about these deaths because let me get this straight. Giyu's missing an arm. He barely bleeding. Mitsuri barely got hurt. She dying. Himejima has no visible damage. He's dying. Fucking Iguro's fucked up altogether. He's the one standing, but Mitsuri is on the ground, almost about to die. Sanemi is wrapped up all over, got fucked up, multiple times, and he's alive. What?
How this adds up?
Look, most of the end of this doesn't add up. But
I
you
don't
know
get how any of these deaths work. I don't get it.
Bro, this whole arc is trash, bro.
like that's the thing is that like deaths have to make sense, or they gotta hit you. And like the thing with Tanjiro is that so many things happened that were kind of contrived. And like the whole, we get ancestral flashbacks, we dance with the fire god, blah blah blah. Like
Red swords.
It's like it technically tracks, but at the same time, it's like none of this stuff was like it felt too contrived once it came down to like a 1v1 with him and Muzan, and like you could tell that they went like Gotoku went out of their way to make it happen, and that's what kind of makes it like it's too. I need to make sure the MC shines.
Muzan is weaker than his own lieutenants, though.
Well, because he got 4 poisons.
It's not as he's weak.
And that shit was ass. That 4 poison shit was like, oh, I got poison. Oh, it's another poison in this poison. Oh, it's another poison. No, nigga, it's another poison in this poison. Like, bro, that shit was trash, bro.
That shit was awful.
That shit was trash.
No, my friend pointed something out to me about that. If she could have made that, why did she use that on all of them?
If it like imagine like All for One, but like Mustard is like stronger than him now.
Mustard.
And then you got these people talking about that they was fighting for their lives, and then they died. They were like, oh no, I planned to die the whole time. Like what?
Well, okay. The one thing I can say is like a consistency is that Hinajime does directly state nobody becomes a Hashira with half-hearted conviction. We know we're dying tonight. At least I think he said something along those lines to Koku.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm fine if the way I took that is we're fighting with we're putting our lives on the line for this fight. We know full well that we could end. This could be the last fight we ever have. Rather than, hey, by the way, we definitely know this nigga's gonna kill us. Nah, that's not how I took that shit. Because honestly, it's worse because it's like it's how inconsistent they are with these fucking shits. Because it's like the earlier deaths, they made sense, except the Genya one. I don't give a fuck when anybody tells that Genya death is stupid as fuck. That Genya death is really stupid. And then
Kimetsu no Yaiba is the worst manga in Jump, and The Promised Neverland is not that far behind.
Look, okay, okay.
I gotta throw out this hot take right quick.
Okay, here's the thing. I actually like
Go ahead.
what happened with Isabella and The Promised Neverland. Like I like the Isabella stuff. But Rashtri's so garbage.
You read the chapter today?
Yeah.
That shit was horrible.
What happened?
That shit was horrible, bro.
But like
it was horrible.
It's horrible.
It's horrible, bro.
All I was gonna point out was the fact that that's another thing with Yaiba though. I don't know about y'all, but I've always found Tanjiro's fights boring. At least in the manga, his fights are boring.
I ain't gonna lie, the anime is fire though. Like even
Oh, yeah.
even this last arc that's so garbage, this shit is gonna be fire animated.
I don't know about that. I don't
This
know
shit
how
gonna
you
be fire. This shit gonna be fire animated. Because all the fights they have, bro, it's gonna be fire.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. There's two things about that. The manga, the anime was good at making things that didn't make sense, like the choreography of the fights, which are really fucking hard to follow in the manga. It made sense of them and made them cool. That's where it shined. The problem is there's nothing to make sense of when it comes to Muzan. This nigga's wiggling his arms around the whole fucking time. How the fuck you make that interesting?
Nah,
you have to say fuck the manga.
If one studio I don't doubt is Ufotable. They gonna make that shit look clean, my nigga.
Like I said, the only way you can do that is if you say fuck the manga. You have to
if they still animating Yaba by that point.
Oh, that will be. Well, yeah, they definitely will be. There's no way.
They make too much money.
Yeah, but there's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and it's also the logic. Although at the same time, though, there was a lot of lack of logic in this season too. But niggas didn't care because it's flashy.
Bro, the anime is so good. I had dropped Yaba because it was ended, and then I finally caught up to the anime, and that shit was so good. I was like, bro, I gotta pick Yaba back up just to see what happened to that girl that didn't talk forever. You know that girl that.
Did y'all know My Hero one shot dropped on the 26th?
It did, but I can't read it. Give me the link, bro, because I couldn't read it on the Jump app because they said you got to join it. I ain't joining this shit.
It's just like a 9-page thing for 9.
9. Yeah, it's the movie one. It's the movie one. It's not the special.
Oh, okay.
It was good. It was good, but I was like, yeah, no, you don't have to read it.
It's drawn by Horikoshi, I think, which is at least looks really good.
Guys, a link. I have a saved Reddit post on here that has the link.
Okay.
Because I already read it. It was great.
Yeah, it is. It really expanded on
Gerber, baby.
backstory.
On who? Or what?
It expanded on Nine's backstory.
I never even watched any of the movies.
Yeah, Dustin haven't even watched the movie yet, so it doesn't really matter.
Aniki, did you ever do the movie stream?
No, I did not.
He never did. That some of them, I went and said that I saw it like inconvenienced myself and went to see it on a Tuesday when I would watch it on Friday. And this dude like, no, we're not gonna do it. I was like, all right.
No, like, man, whatever. I'll take that.
Hey man, sometimes you don't feel like streaming, man. You gotta like, fuck it.
One thing I will say is that Haikyuu is in one of his best arcs.
Oh yeah. The Haikyuu chapter today in the past month has been like once they got into that beach bullshit, this shit has been fire, bro.
I like the beach stuff.
Nah, that shit was trash. That shit was ass.
Can
we please get out? Can we please get out? Like I understand why he's on the beach and it's gonna be raw when he get back on the court, but can we please get out of this shit, bro?
I'm like 50 chapters behind right now, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
We ain't gonna go into detail.
I know about the beach shit already. I already read that shit. It's everything after that. I don't know anything about it.
You're not 50 chapters behind, nigga. If you read the beach
no, nigga, you don't know me. I skipped.
Oh, you are garbage, bro. Garbage.
I skipped and was catching up at the same time. I always used to do that.
He the type of nigga that buy a book and go read the last page before he started.
You're actually right. I do that.
Nah, you might as well go in and catch up to the current stuff because this is the best stuff.
Oh no, that's what I was doing.
This shit is wrong, and it's crazy because it's just a warm up. Like it's not even like the shit.
No, I skipped everything because I've been spoiled on everything already. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just catch up on my own time.
But Yami's fight today in the Black Clover chapter was probably Yami's best fight because it had the least amount of I have to go beyond my limits.
Okay, I give you that.
Yeah, it was like Yami pulling up, applying his already like his abilities to a level that we'd already seen, like using them in new ways. So yeah, like I was actually good with Yami's fight.
But it was kind of trash too, though, because like 6 months and I learned this, and here you go.
Yeah, but at the same time, we started seeing him use Mana Zone and him applying his key reading so he could do it like Julius does. I mean, like I thought that was it tracked, and like the black hole spell return and all that other stuff.
One thing I will say about Black Clover, really quick, is that ever since the Julius not death, I've rarely seen people compare Black Clover to My Hero on Twitter.
I still see it.
Okay, maybe
people still try to defend that shit. People think that shit was actually a good move to do.
What move?
like having Julius, like they keep trying to say it made sense, and you should have known it was coming.
You mean that foreshadowing bullshit? Okay, let me tell you why that's trash.
Hold on. So
The fucking hold on. Let me finish this. The reason that foreshadowing thing is stupid is because, for one, just because something's foreshadowing don't mean it's good. And second of all, it ain't fucking foreshadow. Y'all niggas are saying that after the fact because of the fact that when y'all saw this, I want you to find me one person who said, "Oh yeah, when his mark disappears, that means he's using his powers."
Hey, bro, you stole my words line for line in my stream, my nigga. I said that shit to Z Killer because I was like, bro, now what are you? I was like, bro, all y'all niggas saying this, but now what are y'all niggas when this shit was happening? Now one of y'all was saying, oh, bro, this is foreshadow for none of y'all was saying that, but as soon as it happens, now it's all y'all do that. Like, y'all niggas fraud.
I'm like, nah, nigga, you're trying to defend it. Y'all acting like, nah, you're just stupid. You didn't see it. My third eye was no, it wasn't, motherfucker. When y'all saw that grimoire disappear, y'all did not say, oh, that means he has to use all of his time. No, y'all said that he was dead. Everyone was saying that nigga was dead. You can't just say after the fact, oh, we all knew. You're just stupid. Yeah, sure.
I don't even read Black Club with enthusiasm anymore. I just read it to turn the pages, my nigga. Like I don't even read that shit with enthusiasm anymore.
The fights are fun. It's just hard to feel like anybody's.
He got a turn page quota.
No stakes.
Yeah. But you know what hasn't been letting me down lately? Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie though, bro. These chapters ain't really been hitting for me personally. These past few chapters.
I like Konami a lot. So him just showing up and flexing this dude was.
Yeah, I didn't like how they did my girl Nabar, like how she like niggas was hyped for her fight, then she got washed the next chapter. Like damn.
I didn't really like the fact that she didn't get to actually have a fight where she got to pop off.
What's a better alternative to What's a better alternative to Hero Society? Let's say the villains win, then you're just going back to the era of All for One.
No, I mean
not necessarily.
No, they are going back to the era of All for One.
Well, I mean, no, I'm saying not necessarily because Shiggy doesn't have to be All for One. I don't know what he's going to be, but he could be something else.
No, he said he's going to. They already said what they're going to do. They're going to terrorize, rule over all of Japan. They already said they're going to do that.
Well, and that's what the setup was for with learning more about the quirks, where it's like this is what it was like back then. That's kind of Horikoshi setting your mind to be like, like think about this,
And that's
he wants to destroy everything. That's what he.
That's also Hawk's perspective, though.
That's what Hawks. This is Hawks' guess of what he thinks their plan is.
But Shigaraki wants to destroy everything.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
There's not going to be a society. We're basically going back to the Wild West. As much as we talk about Hero Society falling, we could argue that society, period, like Japan is just going to be like considered a wasteland. We're going to have like a dystopian run for a bit here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's not necessarily having to go back to the era of All for One because because he's not trying to be All for One. We don't know what he's going to do, but we know for a fact he's going to.
I'm talking about the era. I'm talking about era, like for example, like the climate of that era.
I want Horikoshi to answer.
Do you believe that era was peaceful?
No.
Around blowing up buildings.
It was peaceful.
They said they lived in terror of All for One.
I was about to say it was as peaceful as any oppressive nation is.
Yeah, like I mean, at the end of the day, everybody could have just been like, "All right, I guess you're the new God King of the Japan." It's just that people constantly were willing to like fight against him because they didn't want a God King of Japan that could show up, blast away their homes, their children, their families, their families, their best friends, the best friends'
favorite restaurants.
MLA are going to be doing. They're just going to go and just reverse who's the oppressors now. That's all it comes.
Yeah, but they're going to be they're going to give everybody the choice because they're going to be liberating everybody and giving them the right to use their quirks without any. Like it's just going to be chaos because everybody's going to be able to do what they want to do.
Their argument would be, "We're not oppressors because
we're freeing you.
You could be as strong as us if you tried, and you're just not. So that's your fault. Get good, scrub."
Well, that's the thing. Remember what they said? All for One killed all the niggas who had strong quirks.
Oh yeah, but like that's because those people also tried to fight him instead of joining them. So like, oh, you got a strong quirk. You aren't team All for One. All right, I'm pulling up.
Shout out to JJ. Chainsaw Man been shitting on a lot of your favorite manga this past month.
Man, Chainsaw Man is
crazy.
Average. It's so goddamn.
Don't listen to Rex. Rex, don't listen to Rex.
I'm not even close to caught up to that shit, so I can't say.
Don't catch up. I'm saving you time. Don't catch up, man.
Chainsaw Man low key has some of the best like visual artwork, like in terms of just like aesthetic, in Shonen Jump right now.
And the writing is crazy, bro. Like it just I don't know where it's going week to week. It just keeps surprising us.
Yo, but can we talk about those covers though?
Oh yeah, they fire too.
I don't know how he gets away with it, but it's great.
Yeah,
Because his brand is like wildness already. So
yeah.
Like
that one chapter where they had all the naked bitches, they was like, I went to Jump and they literally said you cannot read this chapter on this app. Like you have to go to the actual website if you want to read this chapter. I was like, damn.
One thing I will say about Shonen Jump is that I think they're moving their direction from young boys to teenagers and young adults.
Well, I mean, that's who's actually
reading it.
Because the thing is that anime works for anime, like for getting people to sit on TV, sell ad space, works for targeting children. But let's be real here. It's not 12-year-olds that have every single copy of MHA plus like 15 Funko Pops plus the Monopoly board game plus the shot glass collection.
The most engagement in terms of
adults.
adults.
Like,
well, I mean, you did hear what Yaiba's biggest demographic is, right?
What?
40-year-old women.
Really?
Are you serious?
I'm
that's
not
surprised. That's what I heard. That's what I heard when like, from one of those weakest on the jump accounts.
That's what I believe that.
Think about One Piece. Most of it's like its sales in Japan. It'll get like 2 million the week it drops a volume, and then it'll get like 10K the next week because it's mostly at this point most of One Piece fans are adults, so they just pre-order, get their shit, and go about their day.
The install base, basically.
The 40-year-old women just buying it for their kids.
Maybe.
Or they're
reading it themselves.
I don't see why Rick said he's not surprised.
Wouldn't a bunch of other shonen have a much older demographic?
Maybe they do.
They're also buying for their
okay,
kids.
so the shonen demographic right now is like 17 to 25. Like that's the average.
Yeah.
It's just that series like One Piece have been running for 20 years, so its fan base is older. It's kind of like to a certain degree, Shonen Jump is like realizing that if we have an older audience in our One Piece audience, then maybe we should play into more adult audiences anyway, because kids will still read it, right? Like maybe their parents will be weird about buying it for them, but there's no reason for like kids to be like, oh yeah, like I'm just gonna stop buying this because most of these series seem like a bit more adult.
I'm very surprised. I mean,
the Shonen Jump at Twitter said Kimetsu no Yaiba was the best chapter this week.
Well, I mean, you know what? Actually, no. To be fair to that, I honestly think that's just Shueisha. Because think about it. You know something funny? You ever know? You hear about what Viz is doing with the volumes, right?
What?
They were going really hard on My Hero volumes and making it to where they were trying to catch up. They were actually almost like a month behind. Like they were going to release like a month after the officials drop.
Now I gotta wait like 3 months.
Yeah, but you know what they're doing for Yaiba? They're releasing a new volume every month. Even though Yaiba doesn't sell that much nearly as much as My Hero in America, they're trying to catch up, and that's strictly because of Shueisha. So I feel like they're saying that just to hype up Yaiba because Yaiba's their biggest thing, in Shueisha.
At least in Japan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like that's like their biggest new current property. That's their biggest property.
Yeah,
for Shueisha, so they have to do it.
You gotta cast the thing that's already sold like 25 million, right? You got to claim it's the best chapter because you need to just it. Just think about it this way, like, right? The big thing about Yaiba being the #1 selling manga is that, yeah, there were some people who were like happy about it, but most of Twitter kind of laughed at it, right? Like,
oh yeah. Well, I mean, you would have asked them a year ago, they would have been happy about it too.
But like, we were literally like most of us were like, even when it became that, it was like, all right, you know what? It's cool because like One Piece got dethroned, and like that, the toxic One Piece fans were like, hit you like, oh well, we got all these sales, so like obviously we're better. And then it was like funny for everybody because it was like this series is definitely not the best written thing out right now. Like most of us are like, no, this is, and that's a weird reputation for your #1 selling product to have, right? This thing is not the best. A lot of people feel that way, so like you gotta push it like Western too, because they don't. Like it's like a weird disconnect. You want to like have confidence in your decisions, but if anything, like what Shueisha should be doing is seeing this as an opportunity to really identify the difference between their home and abroad markets. Samurais with imaginary powers ain't cutting it in the West like heroes are. or even like ninjas were, or
Yo, can we talk about how the Itachi plot line made like no sense?
Nigga going way back in the bag today.
You said, wait, what?
He said the Itachi thing didn't make sense, like the twist.
How?
Another conversation. Another conversation.
That's another conversation. We only got like 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
We
I don't know how that was.
All right. Let's actually start rounding out final thoughts of the chapter. I know we transitioned into a Shonen Jump stream for about 20 minutes, but
I wonder. Okay, I wonder how if they ever find out how Hero Society will think of if they understand that the number one hero is a former abuser and the number two hero is a government trained killer since childhood.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But all right, my final thoughts on the chapter. Great chapter. I absolutely love the moment where Toga says "Thank you for saving me," because I don't think that's just like in the moment. Thank you for saving me. I think that's like as a person and also just like from back in NBA. So I think it's just a whole thing. So that was really sweet, and I loved it. So.
Well, for me, I'd say this was probably the best chapter of the arc so far because this is probably the first death I've seen in a series that actually made me feel something for a while. So yeah, I'll stick with that. I just need to know how the fuck Hawks is gonna get out of this situation though. Or rather, actually, let me rephrase that. I want to know how Dobby's gonna get out of the situation.
so here's the thing, right? With that, when I like look at this chapter over and over again, like the way I look at it is, I think to a certain degree, I think as Hawks was taking out Twice, he had to have known that he was going to get like lit up again, right?
I'm sorry, but how do you miss that point blank?
Because Hawks is the fastest hero.
I know he's the fastest hero in Japan, but it's
he just summoned his feather Mjolnir. That's what he had to do.
But also, he can still kind of fly even with the one wing.
Well, he can.
Well, that was really clever on Hori, because I was like, "There's no way he's going to survive." But I forgot that Hori in the last chapter put it in his hand, so all he has to do is just point it and move, and he's done. So that was really smart.
I mean, it's the thing. The thing is, he can fly, but he can't really fly because he can't like stay in the air.
Yeah, so he had enough speed, and like what he says, he flew outside with the flame. So to a certain degree, he like caught the draft. But like he still took some damage, but he kind of somewhat used the draft of it to keep moving, to propel himself and fly around.
Is mostly me pointing out like if he could blitz him and he couldn't even follow him, how the fuck is he gonna be able to fight him? Dobby, that is.
Well, Hawks' speed is only going to keep dropping because I'm pretty sure as he's going to get the reason why he's like covered in smoke as he's going to stab twice is because he got hit with flames again. So if those are at his back, then
only a little bit of flame hit him, and it burned his eyes.
And so, yeah, like this is moreover like a battle of attrition that Hawks definitely loses. Even Hawks straight up said that he's in a bad matchup for how this is going down.
Well, he was somebody in that room because they was in the closed quarters. But now that they kind of out of that, but I still think talk about the body this nigga Hawks if he's around.
Well, the other thing though is that any feathers he launches at Dobby can just cook them. So he doesn't even have like the projectile advantage. He just like you send feathers at a wall of fire, they turn to ash.
It's mostly because like Dobby himself said Hawks himself said he's a bad matchup, but at the same time, I don't know, man. He blitzed the shit out of that man.
Yeah, but like I said, I think he's just acknowledged that his speed is just dropping off more and more. So I don't know, like that's how I took that. So that's how like he ends up losing. Like Hawks will end up losing to Dobby because Hawks put the mission first. It's basically the sacrifice play.
What if he dies but also takes Dobby out of commission?
I'd be angry.
I don't think I'd be.
I'd be.
Damage, but he doesn't kill.
Nah, I'd be angry as hell because like that means this nigga's gonna be useless for another arc.
Because the way I see this is like Dobby's gonna probably throw out like a big flame attack or injures Hawks as this is happening, and then he'll tell him who he is before he like puts him down.
Aniki, does the stream only have like 2 minutes left?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know?
Oh, because I don't have the upgraded version of StreamYard, so there's a 2-hour cap.
So we gotta like get.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, but yeah, we kind of covered my final thoughts. So y'all got anything to push real quick?
I just want to say that My Hero is currently the best thing in Jump right now. This chapter was amazing, and I implore everyone, please read Unordinary, and please read Hardcore Leveling Warrior. Two webtoons, really good. You will enjoy them.
Maybe after I finish Tower of God, I'll do that because I'm still not caught up.
Hey,
This
check
Tower
out
God, man.
check out Undead Unluck, man.
Shut up, Rex.
Check out Undead Unluck. It's actually nice.
Oh yeah, Undead Unluck has been pretty nice. Even has emotional notes.
And it's a very unique story too, like plot. It's kind of unique.
We might have to discuss this somewhere else. We got 59 seconds.
Why you got a cap though? Because they tell me I can only stream for 20 hours a month.
It's 20 hours a month, 2 hours per session, unless you get the.
Oh, I didn't know it was 2 hours. I never streamed for 2 hours, so
yeah. So Squid Waffles, Ian, you got anything else to?
I said my piece.
Cool, Squid.
Okay, so I'm gonna think about this.
Nigga, how you gonna think?
You got
30 seconds.
You got 30
Okay,
seconds, bro.
so
Self-destruct.
Hawks is gonna die soon.
Oh, that's not true. No, not what you said. I streamed for 2 hours and 19 minutes the other day.
All right.
Wait, let's see. See if it goes over the cap.
Let's see if it blows up.
See if it blows up. See if it goes.
All right, here we go. Countdown. 10.
No, we're 20 seconds. What? You can't start at 10.
8,
What do you mean?
It's
Nah.
15.
5,
No.
13.
3,
11,
2.
10.
1.
9.
No, it's going over 2 hours.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
going over 2 hours.
what universe are you in. Mine says over
There's
2 hours.
the timer here versus I don't know. Maybe this one.
Yeah,
Maybe
you have a 20 hour a month cap, so you can stream it.
Who
like
knows?
you-
Who knows? Maybe Anarchy is moving at relativistic speeds. So
But
there's
I think
great.
you only stream 8 hours per stream though. Like I think after 8 hours it'll cut you.
Okay.
Who's streaming for 8 hours anyway? What the fuck?
A lot of niggas. Well, not a lot of niggas, but some niggas.
I mean,
Stream
the
for 8
Dude,
hours.
you're not dead.
only way you're
You got
getting
a
an 8
Reverie?
hour stream. The only way you're getting an 8 hour stream out of me is if it's one where basically all the My Hero heads are like running through. So we'd have to have like fucking Pineapple Kid, Truth Hero, like the whole fucking gamut of YouTube. And
I'm not even trying to FaceTime with a girl naked for 8 hours, my nigga. Like,
exactly. Like
8 hour stream if Deku ended up always having a quirk, because then I'll rant.
that's a good 25. That's a good 25-minute recorded video.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually a good stream. I'd be definitely down for that.
Although to be real, I think Hawks should face like trial for murdering Genus though.
Oh yeah, I don't think Hawk should die.
He did not murder Genus.
You want that to be so bad.
Why bring out a feather blade?
He didn't. Who's laughing like that?
He takes out the feather blade.
Yeah, that's another thing. I didn't think about that. Yeah, like what he threatened him for? What he threatened him for?
Huh?
We like cut back to the scene and he pulls out his sword feathers and he's like, "Well, that's too bad," is what I would say if I was gonna kill you. Anyway, then he puts it back.
No, you're over here like, if you really didn't kill this nigga, why'd you take out the sword? What you
Winks
gonna
at
do?
the camera.
It's like he's like,
What if- wait, what if he had
I
permission?
wasn't gonna kill you. I
What
wanted
if
to
he
see
had
how this
permission
look.
from
Yeah,
Genus?
acting like Shonen wouldn't do no shit like that. Like that would
No, I
legit
mean,
be a line.
No.
Hawks would legit say that verbatim.
They would,
I
but the problem
would
is,
say.
I need something.
Okay.
I need some logic here. Because what the heck? It's like, what you gonna do? He's like, I wasn't gonna kill you. What you think? No, I want you to tell me how this looks. I'm gonna try to make it
I
longer.
just wanted to see your face.
here's the thing, and it's like not even as a form of slander. Like that's something that you would see in One Piece because that show, like that series, is that goofy. That is not something that they would do in MHA.
Yeah, no, it's like
You just got pranked.
That is like
You've been pumped. You've been pumped.
Nah, he didn't kill Big Genius, I don't think.
And then whenever it cuts to him and he's like carrying the bag and it's like, don't underestimate a person's resolve is what I would say if
if I was a government agent or some shit like that.
yeah, if it was
Oh my god.
you know my name is how I would react if everyone else didn't already know my name, you idiot.
Yeah, nah.
I don't think, and to be honest with you, I don't think Hawks is washing Big Genius in a 1v1.
No.
I mean, I kind of think he is because think about it. He can control his clothes. He can wrap them up. But what about his feathers? He can still shoot those shit out. You don't have to be
Best
moving.
Genius is going out if he goes for a jog. He's out of a lung.
No,
That's
the
true.
one thing, no. The one thing
Best
that
Genius
Best
probably got some 5-minute
hold on.
cardio now.
Real quick
Best
about
Genius is
Best
the number
Genius.
4 hero. He's not Hawks is
No,
not
no, no.
Washington.
No, here's the thing about Best Genius. Like he can get his. Listen.
Alright.
Best Genius can get Hawk's clothes and then use those fibers to take off like his clothes and put them on his wings.
To be honest, if
Take
you
off
give
his
me,
clothes.
if you give me, if we got Hawks versus Morocco, I'm taking Morocco.
No, here's the thing. Mirko might be the better one, but I still wouldn't say that because he's the fastest. That's the thing people have to understand about
You have to
him.
remember Mirko is also extremely fast, and she has far more physical power, and she's very durable compared to Hawks.
But Hawks is also 76 people because all of his wing feathers act as their own sentient beings that he controls.
She has enough force to create
we having a My Hero version of a One Piece power scaling debate? What is this?
I'll do it. Let's go.
I'm up for it. Like the thing is, like I said,
That's all I got.
The thing about Hawks, and it comes to Genius, it's a bad matchup. It's a very bad matchup for Genius because the thing is, it is because think about it. He's the fastest. You have to cut. Even if you guys caught his clothes, you won't be able to catch his wings immediately.
Yeah, but his clothes on his body, and if you use the thread on his clothes to cut him up, you can kill him.
Yeah, but telekinetically super, like we know that Hawks is massively hypersonic. We know that he's got S+ speed, S+ technique. I don't see how. I don't see him handling Featherstorm.
Yeah, it's like the thing is his feathers are too fast. His feathers are way too damn fast, and he can throw them out casually without even having to try. Because look at this in Pro Hero. Like Pro Hero shows it perfectly.
He can use the thread from Hawk's clothes to bind his feathers.
But he has to connect his thread to his clothing, and then he would cut the threads with feathers that were connected to his clothing from Genius.
Because just remember how fast, how sharp his.
All I said was Hawks is not washing Best Genius in a 1v1. That's what I said.
It's like a battle of attrition until Genius is entirely naked.
Nobody in the top 10 is washing anybody except for maybe Mr. Wash.
Well, Wash might wash his clothes. That's better.
And I actually have Hawks beat at Mirko because of the fact that he's got the utility advantage in speed, and you can't kick sharp.
He doesn't even have to be in the fight.
Nah,
just leave.
I feel like Mirko can close the distance, and if she's able to connect on Hawks, it's over.
Her speed.
It's like the same thing with Todoroki. If she's able to connect, because she's durable, so she'll take the damage from Hawks just to get close to him.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But the thing is, Hawks. The thing about Hawks that's so crazy is he doesn't have to be near her at all. He could be across the country and still fight her ass.
Nah.
No, I don't think his feathers can go that.
I'm exaggerating. Obviously, I'm just saying he could not be in the immediate area and still fight her with that way. That's the thing about it.
You don't think Wash could actually beat Endeavor?
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
it depends what his power is.
I mean, apparently we know what his power is according to the vigilante said in here.
What is it?
It's hydrokinesis.
That's what I figured. But yeah.
Oh, he's better than Koda's parents.
Is he like Pyro? Is he like Pyro where he needs a source of water?
It seemed like he literally shot the water out from inside of himself. So
yes,
he is a washing. He is a washing
machine
though. It might be a working washing machine. You never know.
I knew it. I knew he was good.
You might need to insert coins.
I knew he was OP. I've been calling Wash since we first see him.
I still think Endeavor's whooping his ass.
Bro, everybody said Wash was OP as a joke, nigga. You weren't the only one.
There's nobody.
I was serious. I was serious.
Sure.
There's literally nobody in the top 10 right now that I see beating Endeavor.
Yeah, nobody.
I
don't see Mirko doing it. He's also hella durable.
Well,
he's durable and he's fast as hell.
Yeah, him and Mirko have
they have the same speed, but here's the thing: in terms of sheer physical strength, Mirko's up there. Like Endeavor's really strong, but he's not taking down giant blast steel.
I don't think he can block my bullet through his brain. So
no, bro, no.
Remember, Endeavor literally stopped us like a truck.
No, bro.
What is
You see what Morocco's doing against all of those high ends?
She's very fast.
They're not as stable as
the reason that I can't use
that more high ends.
Yeah, the reason I can't really use that to put her over is because of I can put her over. She's definitely OP, but I don't think that says much about Endeavor because she's fighting nerf tie-ins.
They're not nerfed.
Okay, but here's the thing: how nerfed do they have to be in order for all 5 not
They're
to be
just,
Four.
as good.
they're just not stabilized. They don't mean they're nerfed.
They don't seem as fast. Their regeneration is lower. Like if you take Endeavor and you put him in that room with their regeneration rate, he hell spiders them and then just walks up casually and erases their brains.
Now I think he's still struggling because they're strong as fuck. You can see because even they was giving Morocco a run for like they was
They
fucking
already
her.
took her arm, so
Yeah, they
and
wasn't weak.
Yeah,
She was
she doesn't
The
have-
thing is, Mirko, in terms of physical strength, I'd argue she's in terms of the top 5, she's the strongest.
Oh yeah, no. In terms of physical strength, I 100% agree with you. I had no argument against that.
No, I don't know. I don't want to say that because Endeavor literally stopped the truck with his bare hands. No, like just
Yeah,
Mirko is
dude.
kicking giant steel blast doors. That is like way
Yeah,
more
I'm like-
force.
I'm like, yeah, no, like her legs are stronger than anything I could think fucking NG could throw out.
I mean, the impression I got from the truck thing wasn't that he stopped it with his hand; it was that he shoot a fire blast, and the guy said "ooh, fire" and slammed on the brake. That's what I got from that. I didn't think he stopped it with his hand.
Otherwise, we would have seen like an impact frame
Like
I
he's
mean,
Because he
strong.
just, why else would he do a wall of fire to catch it?
instead of just stopping it. You know.
Yeah, if he has super strength.
Headshot really the coldest though.
Oh yeah, no, he has the best technique in the
Hold on,
series
How are you calling Edshot the coldest when Hawk's out here catching bodies?
because he's got the best technique.
Headshot can go inside of you and pierce your lungs, and you're done.
He's got insane
Did he
technique.
actually catch a body yet? Unlike Hawk.
And the only reason they didn't all die is because we put him to sleep.
Yeah, he
No,
told
they
him.
had to sleep because if they actually exerted themselves, they could have put themselves on death's door.
Ooh,
Never
what are Mirko's stats? What are Mirko's stats?
Lower than Endeavor's.
You realize that when they talk about power, they're talking about like Endeavor's flames, right?
Well, yeah,
Here's
that's the
the
thing. Like the thing about
talking about his
the thing about the stats in the My Hero data book are really vague.
Yeah, I don't like him.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it.
In
I'm not a
what
fan.
world is Endeavor stronger than Gigantomachia?
No, here's the thing. Like the power is too vague because I don't know what that means. Their physical strength, their quirk, I don't know. It's weird. The speed.
I never go by data books in any series, bro.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
I don't either.
Gigantomachia has
I use
force
them.
push. You can't stop
I
him.
do believe
I
in.
use
hold
data
on,
book.
hold
I
on.
use data
The
books
data
as a.
books, they confirmed.
Sorry, I was gonna say I view data books as a point of reference. Now,
Hold on, in the
if it goes against what what's shown in the series, then fuck them. But if they're consistent, I don't have no issue with them.
So here's the thing: the A+ ranking for speed would be indicative around like hypersonic, and everybody that I've seen with an A+ stat in that department, which I think was Endeavor had an A+, Hawks is like an S+, Ida's at an S. Basically, the point is that a lot of them are like, at least with the speed stat, you can kind of see that like once you get to A+, it's like hypersonic and beyond, and the people who have been stated to be faster. Like we've seen Gran Torino seem to react to a no move faster than Endeavor did. So from that perspective, we could argue that like we've seen the tracking that like yes, Gran Torino being a massively hypersonic character is faster than Endeavor, which would mean that like Mirko and Endeavor would have the similar like would both be A+ like hypersonic speed, which that tracks even when you think about how fast she got to the Kyushu incident and then just like pieced out. Like that all tracks. It's just that once you have two people of similar physical durabilities, because like we saw Endeavor get thrown through skyscrapers and all kinds of shit, fall multiple stories and still back up. So we know that Endeavor can take the hits that like more than likely Mirko could throw out at him anyway. But then we also get the fact that he's got the firepower, and it's like, well, he can augment his already raw physical power with the thrust.
Bro, she lost the arm, tightened that bitch up, and kept going.
Oh, she's got like if this was space, yeah, high battle continuation. Because that's the thing, like.
Fight until they die.
Well, yeah, like yeah, what is it? I'm looking at his stats. His stats are fucking insane.
Oh yeah, by the way, My Hero gets a color page next chapter, and the first actual page of the manga is gonna be colored too.
Which I think is going to be a memorial to Twice to like confirm he's dead.
Yeah.
What I wanted is a goddamn cover page. Goddamn it.
A cover page that's like RIP Twice and finally gives us his birthday and death date, so we know exactly what date this is too.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh man, this was some other shit.
Did you see
March 30th.
Horikoshi's his author comment?
Oh yes. That man's a
Or
sailor. I love it.
he's like, drawing's really fun. I'm having a good time.
No, he said I'm really enjoying drawing more. I hope to get better at it soon.
Yeah, on like the week that Twice died.
It's like I killed somebody. It's great.
Here's the thing, he's evolved because remember back in Overhaul arc where he's like, I needed Fat Gum to like get through the darkness of this arc. It was getting too depressing. And then I think during MVA he was like Twice was a lifesaver. Now he's like, whatever. I've outgrown him.
It's like it's great because it's like people were worried about him because it was like, man, he couldn't handle the darkness of Overhaul. I don't know, man. How's he gonna be able to kill niggas like this? How's he gonna be able to stand all this dark shit he's putting him through? Now he just said, fuck it, who cares?
It's also the fact that he couldn't really find good places to insert humor Overhaul.
Mike just went
I
away.
remember,
Bro, why does that always happen? Squid, you got to turn up your mic. It's like you start off strong and loud, and then you get.
Like you start walking to the room.
It's like you slowly back away from the mic as you're talking.
Is this better?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So when I was reading a couple interviews about Horikoshi when he was writing Overhaul, and one of them mentioned that he couldn't find good places to insert humor, so there'd just be chapters where just dark stuff kept happening, but he couldn't find a good place to put that in. So I think with the more dark arcs, he was able to find more places to put like at least a little bit of comedy. So he's able to do
Offset.
Yeah.
What's been funny this arc?
I mean, there have been some funny shots. I remember, like at the beginning of the arc with Kaminari, he's like, "I miss Class A."
Yeah, true.
Kangaroo, Fat Gum, and Tokoyami.
Oh yeah, the part with fucking what's that nigga's name? Tamaki. He was like, he said that badass line. He's like, "Hey, do it again." It's like, I can't.
Yeah.
I love Tamaki.
So you're getting my point.
Yeah, I feel it.
It was time to end Twice. He had served his purpose for Horikoshi's soul, and it was time.
He'll be missed.
I really thought Twice was gonna make it to the end of the series, man.
I did too.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my question. We probably every year we get a character popularity poll.
Oh yeah.
He better
Twice
go up,
is-
motherfucker.
Twice is top 3, guarantee you.
No,
Well,
if
West-
Muriel
in
can't
the
even
West, he's
like
gonna
touch
be
the top 10
guaranteed.
ever, then
No,
I don't think Twice is
I'm
gonna
not-
get.
no,
I'm
in
not
the
gonna
West.
lie, it depends
ahead.
on what happens. What else happens? Because if someone else dies or some other big happens, Dobby may raise up. Dobby
I'll
may
put it like
raise
this.
up.
I'll put it like this: in the West, I feel like Twice will go up. In the Shonen Jump popularity poll they put here, yeah, he'll go up for sure. But in Japan, those dudes are iffy as hell. Remember Muriel's placement after the Overhaul arc? They said,
Yeah.
"Fuck that nigga."
He was
They
like
said, "Fuck
30
him."
or 40. I was like, how?
They didn't give a fuck. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's a good possibility they ain't gonna care about that either. Because
You're gonna be like, good. I'm glad Deadpool's gone.
Because remember, Japan doesn't actually like the villains like that.
No, I think that was
Really
that was a misconception. That was a
Reverie
misconception.
Hold on.
A misconception.
I want to mention something about why Japan doesn't really like villains that much, or just one that you just move away from main cast. So in Reverie, right, in One Piece, it was like 5 chapters. But during those 5 chapters, there was a lot of pressure from editors to go back to the Straw Hats because that's where that's what the kids like. Kids like Straw Hats. They don't really care much about Reverie. The adults care about Reverie.
Okay, so here's what I want to say. The whole conception that Japan didn't really like the villain arc is like wrong, mainly because like that dude was like, oh, this is going against the grain or whatever. But I did some more research and like looking at the Japanese comments, I was like, what the hell? We like the shit. Then like if you go to like the Japanese versions of Reddit and like forums, all of them loved it, and they were upset that like people were giving they were upset at the same stuff we were upset about. So that's what I was saying. Like it's a misconception. Yeah, the most popular people in Japan may not have liked it, but the average fans, they love that shit.
Also,
I think it's indicative about the sales too.
I didn't mean the arc itself because obviously they didn't hate the arc.
The last popularity poll from Japan, and Shigaraki was 6th.
Yeah, no.
Shigaraki was 6th, and Toga managed to be 9th, but Twice was all the way down at 23rd.
But I think that just shows you how much each of them raised though, because they weren't they were nowhere near that at first.
Oh yeah, no. I'm trying to see if Twice was ever higher, and I don't think he. Yeah, no, he wasn't. Yeah,
No,
Twice was
Shiggy was
never.
like 16th in the
Hiroshima
last
hit
popularity poll.
second in the U.S. poll though, so we got a dub.
Yeah, if I'm remembering, like Shiggy was 16th in the last poll before this one.
Shiggy's rankings go from first poll 19th, second poll he was 16th, third poll he was 15th, fourth poll he fell to 24th.
Damn.
Fifth poll number 6.
Well, so I was right. He was 16th in one of them. I remember being
Same
that.
spot as Crust. Must be symbolic of his crusty skin.
You said Crust? Yeah, because Crust, he better do something because I like Crust. After that episode, I like Crust.
Crust better die.
Because of how badly he's gonna
Die? Why you even die?
I need Crust to die.
We need Crust and Miracle to both die. Heroes need to start dying. Twice just died. They need to die.
Yeah, we
I
can't
need
just
some heroes to die for sure, but I'm like Crust. He ain't done shit. Let him do some shit first.
Yeah, that's why he need to. You know, he can do some shit and die.
I'm like, yeah, no,
Eat his
like,
cake and die.
like Mirko death is gonna hit. Nobody, they're gonna look at Crust death and be like, who cares?
Yo, the VA for Hawks is popping off right now. He's like, hold up, y'all trying to cancel Hawks for killing Twice? He's like, one, Twice straight up murders a hero on panel, and no one is upset about that because he's some no-name hero. 2,
thank you.
Y'all not read the chapter I read? We're forgetting like the third panel. Hawks is a hero. 3, Hawks probably saved at least 25 heroes, but we're gonna cancel. 4, are we forgetting the mystery bag? Are we sure people are dead? You know, like that one.
Twice was gonna murder children. So
here's the thing.
Hold on. What children was he gonna murder?
No, let her finish. Let her put his unfinished.
Was when Twice was in the middle of saving his friends, he stabbed the hero multiple times.
Yeah, over and over again.
Let them go. Like what? This is you calling Hawks a bad person for killing that man?
No, here's the thing. Like Hawks is my second favorite character. I'm never gonna actually hate Hawks. I love Hawks, but I'm still pissed. I don't care. I'm pissed. Like,
yeah, but it's like you can't call him a bad person for it.
I mean, you can't. Low-key, you kind of can. You can call him a bad person, but you don't. You can't say he's a bad person strictly for killing Twice. He's a bad person. You can call him a bad person for putting that, pretty much like faking that friendship that he had with Twice.
No, he's a bad person because heroes are not supposed to kill. If Stain saw Hawks do that, Stain would definitely be on his number one. Hawks would be on Stain's number one hit list.
yeah, but Stain's crazy.
Stain's also the thing about Stain is that while I love Stain, Stain's a hypocritical ass nigga. So why does it matter?
No, he is. But what I'm saying is his idea of heroism, like perfecting heroism, is definitely not Hawks.
Oh, it's not for sure. Because like I said before, I said this multiple times.
Real quick. Go ahead. Real quick. And it's not Stain's idea of a true hero, and it's not the society's idea of a true hero either. So if this ever comes out that Hawks killed somebody, it's going crazy. Like they're going crazy.
Well, what I was saying was the thing about Hawks is the personification of the issues with Hero Society. So that's why it's not really too big of a deal.
No. He's the issues with Hero Society, but the civilians. Hold on, real quick. The civilians live in ignorance bliss, and that's what Shigaraki whole thing is that everyone lives in ignorance. They don't care, so they put it to the back of their mind. But if it's brought to the forefront, then they will be upset. That's why he said, if I kill everyone in this mall, and you'll go crazy.
All I need is for Dobby to walk up to Twice's body, say, "I'm sorry, my friend, I failed you," is what I would say if I didn't set you up, and it turns out it's planned.
Yo, if Dobby is a commission spy, I'd be mad at the commission. Like how you
if he's a spy in any capacity, I'm gonna be fucking triggered because that's stupid. I don't like that.
The only way I see it working is if it's basically you're the son of Enji Todoroki, and you're clearly not safe in that household. It would have to be some weird interventional, this is what we're going to do because you don't believe in the hero society anyway, you'll be able to go do this. But like, him being an official hero for the Hero Commission, I wouldn't agree with. But him destroying, ultimately like betraying Shigaraki, etc. Yeah, but like at the same time,
The
I
only
think
issue with
Dabi.
go ahead.
One of the things we got to get clarity on is how long Dabi been out here in these streets. Like, did he wait until Stain? And then if so, why did he wait until Stain? Because it's kind of obvious that he's had issues with heroes long before Stain
His hair
actually
dye.
came up.
Yeah,
We
but
know
he
he went to
probably, he didn't have no direction before, and Stain gave people a direction, and it led them to the League of Villains.
And
Yeah,
that's also
probably.
the issue. That's also the issue with him working with the commission is that they had no idea that the League of Villains were going to become a thing.
It's not that he was working. I don't think he was working with the commission. It's possible that he was like experimented on by the commission or held by, and he escaped from them or some shit like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's possible.
That's possible, but him actually been working for them as an agent is impossible.
Nah, I don't think that.
Because there was literally no indication that the League of Villains were a thing. Like they came as a surprise, and all for one being alive still surprise. There's no way that the commission saw all that coming.
Yeah,
if they did, there's some Eisen level deduction.
Like like if for some reason he was like a spy for the commission, that wouldn't make any sense. Honestly, and it's better if he is just someone who is working for the commission, working for the league because of Stain, and it just because it helps push the Stain influence thing rather than being anything other than that. Because that's the best part about his character is the Stain influence. That was at least in the beginning.
Do you think there are more government trained heroes that are like willing to kill?
I think multiple heroes are willing to kill. Because like hell, think about what Mirko said. Government trained, I don't think there's a lot of them because I think they only specifically go after people on the high level of prodigy like Hawks. And I don't think there's that like the last
exactly.
We see prodigy, like the prodigies we see highlighted mostly end up going through like they don't get tested the way Hawks do, right? Like they don't have to randomly save a bunch of people in the train accident. Like that's not how most people are found out. Bakugo wasn't discovered until he was like 14 or like 13, like 14 getting attacked by the sludge villain. And everybody was like, "Oh snap!" Like this kid, like, and it's not like that quirk didn't exist in the quirk registry or anything like that. He just never like looked into him like that. So it doesn't seem like they go out of their way to find, the next up and coming hotshot child soldier, but they will 100% cash in on the fact that they did find the next upcoming hotshot child soldier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about Caleb's translation of the chapter was that Hawks' own head, like he's actually really practical. Like even in his own head, he's just thinking about the situation constantly. Like, okay, my wings are burned. The mission's most important priority. I'm at a quirk disadvantage. It's almost like all he can think about is how can I do the mission as quickly as possible.
That's good. Let's go.
Fulfilling the mission also minimizes the odds of him fucking dying.
Well, also, what I want to say after like watching this latest episode of the anime, Hawk, they kept making the point that Hawks is sometimes just too fast. So I think what that is going to be is that his thinking is going to be too fast that he's going to miss something. He's going to be trying to go so fast and so like sometimes they say you go so fast you're actually going slower. So I think that he's going to be trying to process things to a like terrifying degree that he's actually going to mess up and kill, like get himself killed or someone else killed in the process.
I mean, that makes sense because the thing is that this whole time he's been getting more and more rattled, right? Like, one, he seemed genuinely perplexed by the fact that Dabi was willing to like put that level of force into the blast. Two, he already is knowing that like in order to fulfill his mission, he has to take a massive disadvantage and like losing. Oh, and that's the other thing that like proves that he definitely got lit on fire is that he had both gloves, and when he stabs twice, he's only got one of them. So he definitely took a lot of damage to his back. I don't think he still got his wings. So if we are focused on Hawk's next chapter, he's probably getting seriously maimed or at least trying to escape.
Well, here's the question. Do you think that his wings are ever going to grow back, or do you think he's scarred for life?
I think there's a chance he's scarred for life. I've been saying for a while that I think that the way that Hawks comes out of this is probably with losing his wings forever, specifically burned off by Dabi. If he doesn't die, he's at least losing his wings.
I mean, there's that
I need Toga to find Twice's body and drink his blood, and then do the Sad Man's parade for him because she knows how his quirk works because it was revealed back in Overhaul. That'd be cool.
That's
They
what
even
I thought
lied
was
to
going to happen.
mention
I thought she
Twice's
was going to use
body,
his
bro.
quirk.
He just fell out of the mansion.
No. We already talked about that. That wasn't Twice. That was his clone.
Yeah,
Twice
no.
is still up there with Hawks.
And I
Yeah, Hawks will probably take the body. So
the stabbing noise is actually the feathers hitting the Hawks clone and the Twice clone in the head.
Twice clone.
Yeah. So remember when he said like the clone goes, "I fell over the balcony." Da 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 da. There's two little feathers flying towards his head as Hawks is pulling up to stab Twice. So the shink you hear is more than likely the two feathers hitting him in the head and knocking him off. So that's why he ended up falling.
But the weird part is, what's that clone that ran away?
That is the clone that was running away is the one that got knocked off the balcony.
And
yeah, he held himself together instead of making new clones so that he can make it to them in time. That's basically.
Oh, what in the fuck?
I have to look at that again because that's kind of confusing.
here's the thing: if you look at the picture, you will literally see he highlights him in the picture. You see the sword of Twice, or you see the sword of Hawks going towards Twice, and you see two feathers going towards the clone.
Oh,
so the clone gets knocked off by those two feathers, and the sword goes into Twice and kills him.
Oh yeah, that's what I was confused about. I thought you were saying like the sword went into the clone's head. I was like, no, that doesn't make sense.
No, there's just two little feathers. Actually, three of them. No, two feathers, and then like you can see the third feather that is the one that Hawks is going to stab Twice with coming down. And I actually think he's going for the stab in the back, like through the heart, through the spine, to make sure that he severs the spine so he can't move and punctures the heart so that he dies within 40 seconds.
Yeah. Point is, I need it to be next week so that I can confirm he's dead and we can all celebrate that Hori did it.
I mean,
I think it's basically 99.9% yes.
Yeah, like I'm almost certain it is a death because like even after you see whatchamacallit, the handkerchief and the blood flying. What I want to know is how do you get the handkerchief?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Every clone
Okay, every clone has everything that Twice will have. So if Twice had the handkerchief on his body at the moment, so when he created the clone would also have the handkerchief on his body.
It actually melts at the end too. It's not actually in the goop; it's melting.
Yeah, you see the cloth melt.
Oh, so that's because I saw somebody color the page. Like, what the fuck is that pink shit on? It's like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. How do you?
Yep.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Twice can clone things too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that makes sense.
And it updates with whatever kind of like the last memory of it, basically, of that design, basically. So.
Well, goddamn, man, that's kind of. Ooh.
So he didn't even actually return the handkerchief. Like the clone didn't even get to take the real handkerchief back to Toga.
So Hawks is okay. So
what?
Remember how Hawks talks about like being free because like Hero Society feels like a chain. What if like so he gets burned, right? But, like after he loses his wings, he like lives and then like just escapes Hero Society, just becomes like an outcast, just from like civilization in general.
They're all gonna be like that soon, so I mean, that ain't gonna mean much.
Yeah.
Well, I still like. There's a chance Hawks may not die, and my theory goes to where he trains the next generation because he's so adamant about not doing it.
That'd be fine. I don't actually need Hawks to die.
Nigga, the end of the panel said die Hawks.
Well, you need Hawks to die for Twice. Are you a fan or not? Jeez.
I'm a fan of Hawks.
Are you a true fan?
I'm a fan of Hawks.
Hawks needs to die, nigga.
First and foremost.
No, he does need to die.
Yes, he
If he
does.
doesn't, I'm saying he does. If he doesn't, that's the way I see him going. If he doesn't die.
Y'all want somebody to teach the students so bad.
No, I'm just saying it's a possibility. That's the thing. I just look at possibilities.
Oh, that's what we're doing now. I don't see the possibilities and shit.
No, because you're so quick to write stuff off.
Yeah, because some of this should be stupid. Not
Like,
necessarily. I see what you're saying, but like, no, bro. Like, because like you see what Horikoshi already setting up for the story. That's what I'll be saying.
No. Yes, I think that Hawks is going to die, but I think it's like an 80% chance. That other 20% is what I'm talking about. Because there's been because let's not lie, like we've always predicted what Horikoshi is going to do. There's been times where he's definitely going in a direction that nobody saw coming. Just like
yeah,
this.
but like this is like different. Like when he goes in a direction we never saw coming, that's different. But he's never led us somewhere and then didn't go there.
But what I'm saying is what I'm saying is that even if Hawks doesn't die now, there's a chance he can die in the future.
Nah, you set up to it's people that should die, and it's like Endeavor should die. The only time that Horikoshi led us and we thought somebody was gonna die, they didn't, was All Might.
And even that, what he did with that instead was to flesh out All Might's character psyche, and the stuff we got with Night Eye later was actually instrumental for Deku. So the reason why All Might didn't die was because his story literally wasn't done yet.
And All For One even says, "Man, you screwed up. You should have died there because now your student's gonna have to rely on you more, dummy." So
yeah, and I think Hawk's character arc is coming to a close, bro.
I mean, well, okay, what do you consider the end of his character arc?
With him,
in the first place.
I feel like the end of his character arc is gonna be with him, him being exposed, and it's further crushing a blow to the Hero Society.
And I think
it's showing how flawed Hero Society is.
I'm one of those people who doesn't believe dreams need to be completed in manga. It's one of those things that, like, when I say that, people always confuse because I'll say that I think that there's a chance that Zoro doesn't get to fight Mihawk because your dreams don't always come true how you want them to. And in this case,
that's ass though.
I think that there's one of the things that's important to remember is when Hawks first got this mission, he was told directly there'd be no glory, no accolades, and any of that kind of stuff in it for you. And I think that him dying alone without getting to explain that he was a double agent to anyone like Tokoyami or anything like that, and it kind of getting spun that he helped them advance, like after the villains win, they'll just use him as the number 2 hero, helped orchestrate all this and get us on top. And that's why you're like, so basically completely tarnishing his legacy, he won't be able to defend it. He'll just die alone.
Ooh, and imagine if like Toga get his blood and is able to like impersonate him and shit too.
Yeah, that too. If he just gets injured enough, that they can like barely alive. Like if they just kept Hawks barely alive so that they keep taking blood so Toga could pretend she was him.
Like I said, the Toga needs to start taking more than one vial because once she takes that first one, she's done.
Yeah,
I think that Toga has the most potential right now out of the villains that are in commission, because depending on who blood she has, and I think they should have been doing this. They should have been giving Toga the blood of all the villains. Like we
never talked about this either, though. I know we've been streaming for a long time. The dynamic of the League of Villains about to change, like just the way they interact with each other. Like Twice was such a
Twice was the bright spot. The
heart. Yeah. He was the heart.
Yeah, and it's like, how is that? Like, is it gonna fall into compress now?
I think you know what I think. I think they're gonna get darker. I think they get darker.
This is just another step towards the dark.
I feel it goes back. I feel like we're gonna start going back to the earlier dynamics where they were kind of upset with the structure, because he is like the glue of the they got rid of the glue, so now they're gonna start falling apart.
No, I don't think. I think it's gonna bring them closer.
I think it'll bring them closer together.
It could, but I also need to know. I need to know how they're gonna all react to this.
Because at this point, it doesn't make sense for them to fall apart because this is their rise.
I don't mean like right now. I don't mean like right now. Not during this moment, because this moment they all have the same goal: kill the heroes. I mean after that's all over.
Because here's the way I look at it, right? When Magnet fell, like Toga, Compressed, Kurogiri, everybody was like, nah, we don't want fuck Overhaul. And that was after the League of Villains being together since.
That's like October, right?
Yeah, that's actually a good point, Andy. That's a good point.
October, right? They had only been together August through October, and they were already like kind of ready to ride up for a Magnet. So now we would have Twice, who this is basically taking place in March. They've been together for half a year plus, like 7 months. And they went through a homeless trapping in the woods phase together too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they've gone some serious lows, some real.
Then they went to the bonding phase with my villain arc, and
like they've been through
fighting against Omakia together.
They're taking on the Liberation Front. And Twice became the one who saved them, getting the sushi. 3 months together running this organization. Like they've had a lot of friendship to be built up.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So like this, if anything, like they'll be upset about the way things have gone, but they all know that Twice, who was so attached to friendship, would hate them falling apart because of that. That I think it'll force them to really look at what do we want to achieve together. How do we best honor like Twice? Because if you even think back to the NBA panel where Shigaraki says you're going to regret playing with the man's feelings, you're going to regret taking out the heart and soul of my team.
I mean, the thing I'm questioning is because, like, look at it. Even with that whole like, with the overhaul situation with Magna, they were getting pissed at Shiggy for the way he was going about it at first until he had like showed them how sincere he was in the situation. But in this one, I have to question what they're gonna do about it. Is it just gonna be like is there just a kill? Because like they don't even know who killed him yet.
Yeah.
No, but Dobby don't know.
Yeah,
Dobby knows.
Yeah, Dobby knows. And at that point, though, like, do you think Dobby's gonna kill Hawks? Because then at that point, what they're gonna do?
I feel like Toga is gonna kill Hawks, or I feel like they all gonna try to kill Hawks. And
well, that's the thing. Like,
Toga gonna go for the final blow. But Dobby's already trying to kill Hawks anyway.
Yeah, the thing about Toga killing Hawks is she has no idea that Hawks killed her, and how is she gonna find that out?
No, but I'm saying,
like, he said Hawks got me.
No, did he?
Yeah, he says that.
Oh yeah. He did say Hawks pull one over on me. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. So
right.
Hawks
and Dobby and them are like nearby. They're like right over there.
They're like 4 or 5 stories above, actually.
No, because the building just fell. Did the building fall?
No, the building is split in half, but they're still like nut floors. Like I'm looking at it right now. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They're good 4 or 5.
They're like 8 floors above.
No.
So like they can't immediately go fight him, but they can know what happened. So if they see Hawks anywhere, it's on site.
Yeah.
I can't wait for next chapter, bro.
Oh, I need next chapter.
Yeah, My Hero is one of the best series to read week to week.
Well, it is. It definitely back to form. It's been like that for the past 2 or 3 months now.
The whole 2020 so far.
I mean, it's been good since. Here's the thing: joint training ended like people didn't like joint training, and week to week it was a weird experience. But NBA, it's basically been
since NBA, yeah.
I mean,
March 17th.
Even joint training, its ending had me excited for the week after because I was like, okay, what the fuck, what's going on?
And joint training has a good plot because that Bakugo chapter shut shit down. The chapter where Bakugo watched everybody in that one chapter.
Yeah.
No, you got to remember the Todoroki fight and Ida. That fight was the best.
Yeah,
fight
people sleep on the joint training arc, bro.
On a weekly, that fight was not good. That fight was not satisfying on a weekly. On a binge, yeah, that fight's good. But when you're just reading it weekly, that shit was like, oh my! I waited all this shit for a fucking draw. Fuck this shit.
I didn't feel that.
Was a lot of short chapters, and that was a problem. It was a lot of short chapters.
He was also sick a lot.
Yeah, that's when My Hero got weird. When it was like he kept giving us short chapters and shit. Like, what's going on with Horikoshi? He giving us these 12, 13-page chapters.
So basically, even if you don't aren't necessarily optimistic, like chapter 218, 217-ish dropped in like February of 2019.
Yeah, my Villa start.
So from that perspective, My Hero Academia has just been on fire for like a year straight. Regardless, like there's people who try to like say weird shit about MVA because people go, well, like these villains needed an arc. That like means it's bad writing, and I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up, you clown. But like,
it took you 200 chapters to finally develop your villains. Ooh.
But see, My Hero constantly does that. Like people might say, oh, for like a month or two, they might say it's been inconsistent. But then after that, it rips off for another year or two or year and a half of just straight fire.
To quote a wise man, some people they look at the panels and they read the words, but they don't read My Hero.
When you're referencing that fucking Heavenly tweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shout out to Heavenly Control tweeting that clown shit he tweeted.
I half read it because I was like, oh no, he's already wrong, and we're only a sentence in.
Yeah, clown. Talking about lax action. I was like, this nigga's a clown.
He did a stream where he went over my thread about the clouds.
What
No,
is
the
what
one
he said?
thing that I want to say about Heavenly Cloud and people like him, they claim to be like hardcore anime. They're just casuals at the end of the day.
Oh no, I don't. I've never.
They
watched
just
one
niggas
video.
in the anime community. They got a lot of clout.
I've never watched one video of Heavenly's, and I can already tell you that because like you can just tell by the way he talks about things. Because the thing about Heavenly is one of those fake smart niggas. I don't like that.
I mean, he was fair to my thread. So
What do you say about your thread? That's what I was asking.
oh, what'd he say?
Yeah.
Basically, he didn't read it. He skimmed it, and then he decided that he was going to use it as a basis to talk about the My Hero Academia season and the community. But he just said, like, this guy might know what he's talking about, but in general, and then he went off.
So that's an example of my point, though. Heavenly's not smart. What Heavenly does is he wants to portray himself as not just being smart, but being someone important. So that's why he wants to do. That's why he does things like that.
Nexon, I really don't fuck with Nux. Nux and Heavily the biggest.
No, I
no,
don't
Nux-
like Nux at all.
Nux is the same way. No, Nux is the same way. Nux is the exact same way. Because like when you see, I can't remember what the tweet was. He made a tweet about My Hero recently too, for the same reason. It was like the Deku shit actually.
Yeah.
I was like, Deku only broke his fingers, lol.
Here's the thing with
something about him being a bad character. I can't remember what it was exactly about him being a bad MC.
Nux is peak. I'm totally not a shill while being a complete shill. Because if you look at what he was saying in chapter, like around when he had like around 200K subs, versus what he's doing now that he started like basically like I remember him switching and like putting out like a Black Clover video randomly like insulting MHA, like in the context to like get that part of the Black Clover fan base, and then like around that time on, he's been putting out more and more ridiculousness, trying to be a contrarian to get like those people. And so
Bro, that nigga's a clown, bro. He tried to say I told that nigga Black Clover was better than One Piece for like the past year. Nigga tried to front, and then a couple months later, nigga actually started reading Black Clover and said, "Oh my god, this shit is so great." I'm like, this nigga's a clown. Bro.
No, one thing that I didn't like is that I started watching Nuts content when he had like maybe 50,000 subscribers, and his content was so much better. And it wasn't like he did the less sarcastic stuff, but it was actually well done and thought out.
Yeah.
What happened was when he got bigger, dude went completely like he thought he was just, I guess, a god. Like he was just weird, bro.
Hey man, it happened. You get that clout, man. It's hard to fight that big head off.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not it.
You got them girls, them cute anime abbies in your DMs all the time now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Straight niggas.
Straight nigga. Them niggas be wild and they be just doing them girl accounts. They be tripping.
Yeah.
Like, how you just sit there all day and just do that?
I found it. I found the fucking tweet he made about it. It was Naruto risked his life versus curse mark Sasuke to save him. Luffy climbed a 500-meter frozen sheer cliff in a blizzard while carrying Nami and Sanji. Ichigo took on the Soul Society for Rukia, then Aizen's army for Orihime. Oh, and Deku let Todoroki use his fire powers. Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, bro.
As if it means anything to state all those things.
Like, yeah, in the very next fucking arc, he pulled up on a serial killer that he knew had killed 6 people and permanently ended the careers of 40.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like he's saying these things because those series are grandiose. My Hero isn't a grandiose series in its nature.
He only helped someone with their psychological trauma. What a baby.
Yeah. Like what?
But it's also important to know like the events that are being compared and where they take place in the story. Oh, he fought Curse Mark Sasuke 230 chapters in compared to an event from chapter 40.
No, those
tweets like that are just to get likes and retweets.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, that's the biggest shill that pretends he's not a shill. Like, and it's funny because it's like always the same with those kinds of people. Like, they complain about the same shit. They go on a rant about SJWs, wokeness, and then they like trash some popular anime, and then boom, they're set.
Well, that's why. I figured that's how I knew I wasn't gonna keep watching Nux's video because the one video he made that I liked was a weird video with clickbait title. He said it was a not shoot style. Full Cow is the best shown in transformation. That was the video. I can't remember what the fuck he said in the video, but he said some interesting things. And then a year later, he made a video called "Shoot Style Ruin Full Cow." And I'm like, okay, yep, I'm done. I don't need to watch you no more.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it.
That's like how like Pineapple makes good videos, but I almost never watch his shit because he puts spoilers in the titles.
Yeah,
and
fuck Pineapple too.
Dude, he
Hey,
spoils so much.
Okay,
He
yeah,
makes
Fabian,
reviews off the spoilers. I've never seen
Fabian,
anyone do that.
Fabian definitely is extra, but I like Fabian. He's smart.
Yeah, no, I like it sucks because like I actually like the shit he has to say. He just needs to stop. It's like the way he goes about like putting it out there. I just like I basically keep this nigga muted on Twitter because it's like I get to unmute him on Sunday, then I have to mute him at some point Wednesday.
I mean, like I like Fabian. I have no issue with spoilers. I will read spoilers, but I can understand it because
You
it's
garbage too.
well, I read spoilers. I don't mind spoilers, but I definitely think that if you're gonna do spoiler videos, you need to be way more vague.
Bro, this nigga literally would tweet on Twitter when the spoilers drop exactly what happened. Like the chapter's already out. Like that shit is trash.
He does some reviews on them on YouTube.
No, I made a joke and said that Fabian is a Yaiba fan in the My Hero fandom because he acts exactly does exactly what Yaiba fans do. And
it sucks because I don't even follow that nigga. I just got people that follow him and they like his tweets and they get on my timeline. I had to meet this nigga. I'm like, bro, this nigga, he did that shit like 3 weeks in a row. I'm like, bro.
My thing is that like I do live reactions, so and I'm not gonna sit here and fake like I ain't read the chapter to do it. So like I gotta have like spoiler. That's why every week y'all see me put out that. All right, list of like 15 words that I already got muted based on the context of the last chapter. Let's go.
I had that. Oh no, you're lucky as hell because I saw somebody talk about that, and I was like, oh yeah, you need to mute the words twice and dead.
That was great. That person committed to being a troll. I respect him for it. He was so blatant about it.
That was amazing. I was like, you were lucky as hell. People didn't give a shit.
And then the guy just like responded with like, but you just spoiled me. And then like the guy who posted the original post was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. They're just like in awe.
But that's exactly why I read spoilers because if I don't spoil myself, somebody else will. So might as well. There's no point.
But that's the like I did this thing where I unfollowed like most of y'all, not because y'all did anything wrong. It's because Twitter has this thing where even if y'all don't like something, it showed you somebody that y'all follow content, and I'll be like, oh my, I got spoiled way too many times on things in anime, and I was like, I like you guys, but I can't follow y'all because of who y'all follow.
Because I don't like your friends.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is that like I've noticed that sometimes where I'm like, who the fuck is this? And it's like, oh, like 5 of my mutuals follow this person, so
I'm like, I don't want to follow
stuff.
It's just a way to get you to convince you to follow them yourself.
But whenever that shit happens, and I don't like the tweet, I just meet that person.
Like, yeah. But all right, I'm actually gonna like put the stream into here. We actually ended up going towards like 3 hours.
It was a great one.
Some people who don't follow KNY know. Yeah, okay. I will say that the Yaiba community is the peak worst community for spoiling.
Like, I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. We kind of rivaled them this week, low key.
Some of these Yaiba fans got to be time travelers with the amount of spoilers they'll be getting.
Like, dog, my Nemi is the best was like said. Like I was like, what? And I was like, oh shit. Okay, I guess. Like I found out Genya died on accident. Like, and the death, like Destin said, was trash because that nigga should have been able to just like eat some more demon sacks, like something in his pocket to keep going.
Demon sacks.
Oh, one thing I want to say, hot take: My Hero may have the worst community out of any anime community.
In the stream.
All right, no, you capping in the streets.
Yeah, in the streets.
Am I?
Yes, as long as Zoro's exists, yes.
I know we have the Boku no Hero fans and the My Hero fans. Like we differentiate like between the two. But if we do it in totality, we may have the worst fandom.
One Piece fandom will legit will group up and attack one person for having an opinion that they don't like. One Piece is the worst.
My Hero fans literally send death threats to the author.
No, but okay. Niggas are My Hero fans, though.
I was about to say, actually, no. Hold on, Rex. A lot of fandoms do that. That's not My Hero.
Yes, somebody killed himself because Itachi died.
Rex, have you not fucking? Were you not there when Naruto ended? You don't remember them harassing fucking Kishi?
You
them
remember
making-
the Great War of the Sakura and Hinata ships?
You don't remember them? You don't remember them making a Facebook account saying Kishi must die?
Byakuya having to be brought back from life because Kubo was driven off Twitter after like a hail of death threats.
They were getting canceled before canceling became a thing.
I'm like, yeah, no, like, dang, no. Every fandom is like this. I remember, like, I don't know, like in Super, for example, there's an episode where fucking Vegeta got eliminated in the Tournament of Power.
Mm-hmm.
They drove the writer off Twitter because they were attacking him and sending him death threats the whole night. Nah, man, that's not a My Hero thing. That's why I need people to stop. That's not a My Hero thing at all.
I don't know people take death threats. You're like, none of these niggas are gonna come kill you, bro.
Oh, of course not.
It's still a weird thing to have people like just like random stranger 74 on the internet that could live anywhere. Is like
it's more the fact that someone feels that much rage towards you, and it can just kind of mess with your mind of like, did I really do something wrong that they would want to kill me?
Especially if you get like, because the thing is that
or even say it, you know.
You gotta think like at the end of the day, we have had celebrities just get murked in the streets by like randoms who read a book. Like the dude who shot John Lennon read Catcher in the Rye and was like, I'm gonna go shoot the celebrity and talk about how I shot the celebrity because of this book.
Well, that might be true. The problem is though, we're threatening Japanese fucking recluses who nobody knows where they live, how they live, what they look like, and we're just telling them we're gonna kill them on the internet. What they gonna do in another country at that? Yeah, so it's like what they're gonna do.
The thing is though, is that like those death threats come from all over the world.
They do, but most of the time you're not gonna hear it coming from Japan. Mostly because the culture that Japan has.
Yeah,
Japan ain't like that. We're the outspoken. We can say whatever the fuck we want type people. They're not.
Yeah.
So if they thought it, they're not gonna tell them. They ain't gonna say that to them.
Shit, that's worse. I'd be worried about the people at home not saying shit.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Looking forward to next week. I'm expecting this next chapter to be some fucking nutty shit. Or maybe we'll get a hot spring chapter random. No, I'm kidding.
Hopefully we do.
All right,
Get away
take care.
from all this sad stuff.
Dobby over to you. I mean, Dobby, you still you?
He's not.
All right. Peace.